Well, hello, you beautiful people. Here we are again. It's game night. Here we go. Vancouver Canucks, Minnesota Wild. 5 o'clock start. So a little earlier than we're used to here on the West Coast, but not too much crazier than the 9:30 start we had on Sunday or the noon start we had on Friday, a weekday. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight. We got some a new guest coming on for the second intermission. But let's go through the schedule first. We're gonna go through, do the hellos for all you beautiful, crazy kids in chat that are already showing up bright and early. We're gonna go through the stats that you want, but you don't really need. We're gonna run the Canucks lineup, which has maybe changed a little bit here and there, but nothing too crazy. Second intermission, Dustin Boydell joins the show, and he will be with us to do the Rusty and Dusty Sideshow. During the second intermission, very, very cool. We're going to have a gentleman named Nick Pinkerton. He has his own channel here on YouTube. It is called Twisted Wrister Hockey. So he's going to be stopping by. It's going to be the first time that we've had somebody who's not a Canucks content creator on the show. So we're going to have him. We're going to have a getting to know you kind of a segment with him, go through, talk about his channel. And we're going to set it up because we're going to have him on again a little bit later when we play the team that he actually cheers for. So, and then post-game show, of course, we'll have Dustin back on for a breakdown of everything that happens in tonight's game. So, let's not forget as well, we did open up the channel for memberships. So if you do want to support me and the channel in general and put Dobby through college, who is just getting home from his walk right now, you can click that join button below me. That will allow you to get access to our custom emojis. So right now we have 5 emojis. We're working on a couple more. Those emojis are the sparkling Trevor Linden smile. We've got the Dobby with the Santa Claus hat on. We've also got the goal emoji with an orc on it for whenever the Canucks score. And then we also have the swear jar, because sometimes we swear and we want to make sure we have a jar to put all that money in. And then we also have our rule book. So if anyone doesn't know the rules, we can throw the rule book at them in chat. So let's start by saying hello to all you beautiful people who have stopped by here. I know there's a couple that always disappear before I can get to them. Zach in earlier, go. Vancouver, go. Major Tau already here. 100% peace. Eggplant. Chaos Giraffe. And then got some hammers and wrenches to throw at people. Rod said it's the Western Conference semifinal rematch. Yeah, if you go all the way back, the famous Todd Bertuzzi incident. Todd Bertuzzi, when the Canucks were up 3-1 in the series, skated by the Minnesota bench and did a golf thing to say, essentially, you guys are going golfing soon. And the Canucks ended up losing that series. They were up 3-1, ended up losing the series. Speak of the devil, Dobby comes in. Sweet little boy. I'm sure you get to see him later. Come on up here, Bubby. Don't you knock the lights over. I know you like to do that kind of thing. Big Max in the chat. Yo, what's shaking, everyone? Hachiko says, let us remember February 19th, 2024. Probably one of the highest scoring games I've ever seen, as a 10-7 game. The Canucks versus the Wild. The Canucks ended up winning 10-7 or losing 10-7. I can't remember. Jason Negra in the chat. Big Hog Hockey, what are your predictions? Calvin in the chat saying what happened on February 14th. KJ saying skirt. Jacob in the chat, hey dudes and dudes. And maybe dudettes. Yeah, there might be some ladies in here, you never know. Mike Torrance, it's a test, all right. But I think we win tonight, 5-1 road win. Yeah, that would make sense. Big Hog saying 10-7 win. Yeah, so I think the Canucks lost 10-7 in that game on the 14th. Jason saying 8-2 Canucks, and then laughing because he knows that's probably not going to happen as a result of, Minnesota being the best team in the entire league. Hachiko's in chat. Calvin999, we are catastrophically shat the bed after a 5-1 lead and lost 10-7. Yeah, so Hachiko confirming. They were up 3-1 in the game, or 5-1 in the game, and ended up losing 10-7, which is wild. Yeah, 19th. KJ, who's in between the pipes tonight? We will get to that. I will do the lineup for you in just a minute here. Calvin saying, oof, deadly. Jacob saying with Lankinen scoring the game winner. Yep. Lanky from Big Hog. Mike saying Lank and Gus. Jacob saying, hey guys. Hey Big Hog. And then Big Hog calling for the Lankin and Hattie, which you'd love to see. Jacob saying, hey Mike. Big Hog saying, sup Jacob. Canucks fan 94 back in the chat. Welcome back, brother. We'll have to get you back on the show sometime here soon. It's been a little crazy around here lately. But yeah, Canucks fan 94, welcome back to the chat. Jacob says, hey Calvin. Big Max says, Calvin 999 Charlie. We lost to Minnesota. Both teams scored a lot of goals though. A 10-7 game. Yeah. 17 goals in one game. Mike Torrance saying, hi Jacob. Calvin said, wait, the end score was 10-7. Yes. The Canucks were leading the game 5-1 and ended up losing 10-7. Jacob says, hi, Chico. Jacob says, 8-2 Canucks easy. Hachiko says, I'm looking at my post on Instagram. JT had a hat trick. PD scored. Besser scored. Hughes had a bunch of assists. And we still lost 10-7. So, and that wasn't even this Minnesota team that's literally the best team in the entire NHL right now. So no pressure. No pressure. There's a big test for the Canucks to see what they can do. Putting Lankinen's record up for grabs. Seeing if he can add to that record. We'll talk a little bit more about Lankinen's historic record with Dustin during the first intermission. Big Max says, sup Canucks fan 94. Big Hog, do your Tim's picks, everyone. It's too late now. Barry Kyle, boom, buddy. Boom. Welcome, Barry Kyle. Zachary, Big Hog Hockey. Big Mac, what exactly are Tim's picks? Big Hog Hockey. So Tim's picks are in the Tim Hortons app, and then you can go in and select who you think is going to score tonight. And then if you get those predictions right, you get extra Tim's points, which you can then use to buy donuts and coffees and wraps or whatever you want. Jacob Cozy, yo, I watch him too. Yeah, he's really cool. I found him through Canuck Clay, who we had on Sunday. Canuck Clay, like I mentioned, did that 24-hour stream, and he joined in and was part of that stream. He is a Canuck Sharks fan. Spoiler alert, he's a Sharks fan. KJ playing Rocket League. Canucks fan 94. Russell, have you heard of the hockey guy? You should try and get him on the stream. Yeah, we'll try. He's huge, right? So I think he's got a lot of subscribers. He's a big fish. So, but I will definitely try and get that man on here because he's one of the best. Let's see who else. We got Dan Carla watching from the Philippines. Good day, sir. Cheering for the from the Philippines. Go Canucks, go. Always good to see you. Jason Negra. Who else we got in here? A couple more hellos. Drew Richards, king of the mods. Evening team. Who else we got? Mike Torrance, 6'4" Canucks. Jacob Cozy's thinking 10-1 for the Nucks. The hockey guy, getting him on would be awesome. Yep. Paper in the chat. Hi, Paper. Thanks for putting the rule book in there for anyone who doesn't know the rules. You know, some people don't know the rules. Oh, Dobberling. Imagine Wild losing. Yeah. Luke Flyswatter, one of my favorite names in chat. This is a real test for the Canucks. We'll see. Jason Egger looking for another DeBrusk hat trick. He'd love to see it. Gary Wiseman, the funniest man in chat. Probably Jason. But I won't feel too bad about it if we do, given what we're playing with half our team after the week plus on the road. Yeah. PD is alive. Barry Kyle. Boom goes the dynamite. Okay. I think I've said hello to everyone in chat. If I haven't said hello to you yet, just yell at me in chat again. I'll get you a shout out before we get going. Before we do though, let's hop over to the stats that you want, but you don't really need. Looking at the Canucks record in the regular season on Tuesdays, they actually have a pretty good, I think this is one of the few days that they have a positive record. They are 311 and 296 on Tuesday. So they are about 15 games above 500, which is good to see. They're still a minus 62 when it comes for goal differential, so that's a little concerning. But power play doesn't look bad. You know, PK doesn't look bad. Save percentage probably needs to be a little better, but we'll see. We're looking at it based on Canucks playing on December 3rd. Overall, they've played 19 times on December 3rd. They're 10-6. At home, they're actually really good. They are 7-3. On the road, they're right at 500. So if they haven't played a lot of games. 8 times they've played on the road on December 3rd. They are 3-3. We're looking at the Canucks versus the Wild. Overall, they've played 103 times. The Canucks have won 48 of those and lost 38. At home, they've played 50 times. They're 26-14, so they're actually quite a bit better at home against these Wild. But if you're looking at away, they've played 53 times in Minnesota. They're actually 2 games below 500. So a little bit tough there on the road. If we're looking at the Canucks' current leading scorer against the Wild, it is JT Miller. 7 goals in 12 games, not back with the team yet. Brock Besser, hometown boy from Minnesota. He is got 7 assists in 16 games against Minnesota. And then Miller takes the overall lead with 10 points in 12 games. So not a lot of high point getters against this Wild team. They have been a very stingy defensive team over the years. When we're looking at the Wild's current leading scorers against the Canucks, Kaprizov has 8 goals in 9 games. So he's almost a goal a game. So fear Kaprizov tonight. Zuccarello, one of the longest serving Minnesota Wild still playing for the team, has 12 assists. This should say 12 assists. Let's change that on the fly. Here we go. Gotta love some spreadsheets. Assists in 12 games. So an assist a game for Zuccarello. He also is the leading points getter with 17 points in 12 games. So a couple guys to watch out for. And then the little picture here. Last stop, Minnesota, don't you know? Last game of the 6-game road trip. And we got special guest Nick Pinkerton there. You can see his face there. Twisted Wrister Hockey. We're looking at just the general stats from NHL.com. In the last 5 games, Quinn Hughes has 9 points, which is insane. Jake DeBrusk has 7 goals in that 5-game span, so also insane. Quinn Hughes with 8 assists. Joel Eriksson Ek has 5 points in the last 5 games for Minnesota. Spurgeon has 3 goals. And then Eriksson Ek has 5 assists in the last 5 games. This is their first game against Minnesota this season. They'll play them again in March. So we won't see them again until like near the end of the season. And then we'll see them about a month after that as well. So a couple games coming up closer to the end of the year. We can hope that maybe this is for battling for top in the conference, or, we can wish. If we're looking at stats when it comes to team stats, the Canucks power play is 13th best in the league, just under 23%. Minnesota, I'm surprised by this. I sounded like Mario for a minute there. Just under 20% at 18th in the league. Penalty kill, Canucks is at 12th in the league, so not bad. They've fallen down a little bit. They were in the top 10 for a bit, just under 81%. This is another one that surprised me. Minnesota has the 27th best penalty kill in the league, only 73.7%. So this is a game where you hope that this stat helps this stat get better, and this stat helps this stat get worse, if you know what I mean, like the cross section there. Canucks 23rd in the league on the faceoff, 49%. Minnesota's only 0.1% better at 21st. Goals for per game, very close as well. The Canucks have 3.3. Minnesota's got 3.21 per game. And then if you're looking at the goals against, the Canucks are 24th. This is where it comes down to it. This is what I'm talking about. They have always been a stingy team. And now they're not the 2003, 2004, 2005 Minnesota Wild that played essentially a trap game. But they are very good defensively, and they did just get better. Jiricek getting traded from Columbus to Minnesota for a prospect and 4 picks. So Canucks fans, myself, I'm pretty happy that they have not, the Canucks didn't trade for Jiricek because I didn't want to give up prospect and 4 picks for him. We're looking at the last 10 games. The Canucks are 6-4. They are on a 2-game winning streak, 2 overtime wins against Buffalo and Detroit, the 12-game and the 9:30 game breakfast. Minnesota is 6-2-2 in their last 10 games, and they're on a 3-game winning streak, also winning their last game in overtime against, interesting. So Minnesota winning a overtime game against their expansion cousin rivals, and Canucks winning a overtime game against their expansion cousin rivals within the last couple games. So that's kind of interesting. The universe is weird, isn't it? The universe is weird, man. All right, back to the bar. We'll quickly hop on over. Let's get the lineup. So the Canucks lineup as we see it tonight. We've got the offensive lines. It is the same top line. Brock Besser sitting on the top line with Pettersson and DeBrusk. Should be good tonight. Suter, Dakota, Connor, Gargoyle on it. Then in the third line, you got Teddy Bluger with Niels Hoglander and Kiefer Sherwood. We'll see where Hoglander ends up. I feel like he might get demoted again. And they got Max Sasson, Atu Ratu, and Danton Heinen playing on that fourth line. We'll see how many minutes that bottom line gets. And then if we're looking at the defensive pairs, no changes here from the last game. It is going to be Quinn Hughes playing with Tyler Myers. Tyler Myers actually looked pretty good playing with Quinn Hughes in the last game. Carson Soucy playing with Juleson. Juleson putting his livelihood for his junk on the line, blocking that. And they've got Bradstrom and Desharnais, who've been looking pretty good together as a duo. And then we got Kevin Lankinen. Blanky in between the pipes, looking for his 11th straight road win to start the season. So we'll talk more about this guy with Dustin during the first intermission, as I mentioned. Okay. They're singing the national anthem for the Americans, so you know that means we're close. Oh, Canada's already been belted out. So let's make sure everything's all set up, ready to go for you kids. Make sure we're getting this scoreboard up to date when we need it to. Don't want to pull a Sportsnet. Oh yeah. Let's say some more hellos before we get through this national anthem. Paper, it's going to be a tough game. Yep. Jacob Cozy, if we win tonight, I will get a Canucks tattoo and stream it. Oh, that would be a sick one. Jason Nager, we might get I almost said it. See, there was what was it a couple weeks ago, and I had the Anchorman syndrome where I just read exactly what was on the screen and I almost jinxed everything for everybody. So I almost had to put money in the swear jar. Swear jar, Jason, swear jar. We might get pooped on after me looking at the league. Yeah, the Minnesota Wild currently sit on top of the NHL standings, taking over from Winnipeg. We might, Jason. Calvin, I feel like the hockey guy needs to come on. Yeah, that would be fun. We'll see. Big Hog, interesting story about the 10-7 loss versus Minnesota. I had a hockey game, went into the game knowing the Canucks had a 5-1 lead, finished the game and saw the Canucks lost 10-7. Yeah, can you imagine that? Drew Richards, this is going to be a tough one. Good character test for the Canucks. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Luke Feiswater, Petey comes alive. Yeah, I feel like Brock Besser might have a big game. Come alive against his hometown team. Imagine if DeBrusk had another Hattie. Oh, I can't imagine it, Calvin. Boston would be livid. Yeah, Boston's already not happy about the whole DeBrusk situation. KJ, got my Rocket League dub. WWWW. Gary Wiseman would love to see it, Calvin. I won't let you forget, KJ says. Hachiko says, get Canucks memes on. I think he's on, what is that? Is it Cameo? I think I've seen him on Cameo, so maybe we'll get him to do a cameo for us. Russ, you're a big fish too. Don't do that. Think big. Thank you, Calvin. That's very nice of you. Now the refs are talking to... There's some laughing happening with the refs. Looks like everyone's having a good time. And then Paragolf Pro just shows up. And he's just like, bam! 5-0 is perfect. Memberships handed out. Very generous of you, Mr. Dustin Boydell. Puck has been dropped for the first period start. 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49. And let's see who got him. KJ Brazy getting the first gifted sub. Sticker Snatcher, one of our mods getting one. Milosh getting one. Ramji Shrestha getting one. And then BC Born also getting a gifted membership. Thank you very much, Dustin. Must have been a big win in that golf tournament. Yeah. For everyone who wasn't here, Dustin had a golf tournament down in Vegas and his team came in third, so they made some money. Jason Nager's loading. Paper was sick yesterday. Hopefully you're feeling better soon. Gary Wiseman, Jason's comment is buffering. Yep. KJ's putting the eggplant in chat. Brian Anderson Besser, first star playing in front of grandma. Yeah. I would love to see it. Can you imagine the smile on grandma's face if her favorite grandson could be the first star of the game? All right, I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit here. Can't hear the game over my own chatter. Grandma is Brock's biggest fan. Jason, we can't win because these guys are the best in the NHL and they're in their home stadium, so shh. Brock is granny whisperer. Hoglander in. Sherwood back up to Hughes. So actually, they're already onto their second. I guess it would be the third line. See if Hoglander can have a better game. I really didn't like his penalty, and then next time I see Mall Santa, I'll know it's just Dustin in disguise. Ha ha! Lankinen with a stick save. First shot of the game. Minnesota getting it. Canucks changing up. Sinker Snatcher! Big Hog saying, "Go Canucks, glow!" Sinker Snatcher saying, "Let's go Canucks!" KJ saying, "W, Dusty." And then Snicker saying, "Thank you so much, Dusty. Muchly appreciated." Blocked by Danton Heinen there. See if Danton can have a bit of a better game. I think the ice was very tough for Danton Heinen last game. That 9:30 a.m. start for the Canucks. Ooh, weak wrist shot. Might have hit the side of the net as it passed by. That was a close one. W, Paragolf Pro. Dustin out here doing the Lord's work. Let's go Canucks! Imagine us playing against Fleury. Garland trying to get it to the front of the net. Couldn't get it to go. Wild now with 2 shots. Darnay puts it up the boards. Canucks put it in. Weak one on the goalie. Maybe they'll count that as a shot. You never know. As I say it, the thing comes up, so I can't see if they've got a shot yet. No, they didn't credit us with a shot. I mean, technically, it's probably not a shot, but you know. We can dream. Now we got the first line out. Pettersson out. Interesting. Minnesota firing it up to center. Past everyone into the Canucks zone. Quinn Hughes collects. Puts it up off the boards. Gets stopped by the Minnesota player and kept in. Quinn Hughes collects the puck again. Puts it behind the net for Mr. Tyler Myers, the Chaos Giraffe himself. You are right. He is very generous. Oh, so they did give us a shot there. Woo! The Canucks aren't 10 minutes into the game without a shot. Big Hog's like Paragolf. And then Big Mac's like, boom, yeah, KJ. And then Drew's like, heart to Paragolf Pro. Okay, so Juleson with 1 assist in 5 games versus Wild. KJ's like, no way. Look at that, KJ. You got the symbol right beside your name now, thanks to Mr. Dustin. Jason Nager, Hog, the question I ask is, are they voting for Canucks or Wild? Canucks fan 94 would love to get back on the show sometime. Just give me a date. Yeah. I'll have a look at the schedule coming up. We got, I'll have a look. Yeah, I'll let you know, brother. Gary giving some claps for Mr. Paragolf Pro, Dustin Boydell. Bluger wins the faceoff, but Minnesota steps through and actually ends up taking it away. And then Susie put it back to Lankinen. Sherwood's got a partial break. One hand on the stick, kits it out front to Hoglander. Hoglander puts it behind the net. Couldn't get a clean shot off there, Sherwood, though. He's being hounded by the defenseman from Minnesota. I'm going to say it every time like that, too. Wrist shot. 5th shot of the game for Minnesota. Don't you know? Susie dumps the puck in, goes in on the forecheck, blows a tire. And then the puck splits the defense and all the way down the ice. Got Desharnais back to collect the puck. Got the Canucks first line back out again. Brock Besser with the puck in his home stadium. I guess his home state. Not his home stadium. His home is in Vancouver. Brandstrom puts the puck down low. DeBrusk on the forecheck. Desharnais tries to pinch, but couldn't get it to go. Now the Minnesota has a 3-on-2. And then another save from Lankinen. 6 shots for Minnesota already. Woo! KJ got one. Kiefer Sherwood. Paper using the Trevor Linden sparkle smile. You love to see it. Isn't it nice, Paper, to see Trevor Linden in person too? Hi, Trevor. Welcome to the stream, Trevor Linden. We might be cooked. Who knows? Me and Snicker got one. Yeah, you love to see it. Although I know that Major Tal loves to see all the people who are hiding in chat don't actually comment. It's always nice to see you regulars getting those free memberships as well. Brock Faber. KJ using the emoji with Mr. Dobby with the Santa Claus hat on. Yeah, hopefully Hughes won't get ejected. Hand pass in the neutral zone. Kiefer Sherwood just couldn't get ahead of Lankinen with a blocker save. Big Hog, let's have Dobby on the stream for all 60 minutes. We need him. Let's see. Oh, come here. All the way. There he is. Stand up. Oh, let's get this off the stream so you can. There you go. Come closer. Oh, there you go. Okay, here's Dobby. I've got a little treat for him. It's his favorite treat. And we're not even going to make him work for it right now because we love him. But I think he just burped in my face. So we're going to give it to him anyways because he's a nice, sweet boy. Yeah, you're Dobberton, isn't that nice? Everybody wanted to say hi to you, and I figured the easiest way to get you over here is to have you come on over like this. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. Try not to kick the microphone this time, Dobberton. Dobby, 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 Dobby. Yep. Oh, yes. What a nice boy. Dobby, do you think that the Canucks have a chance of winning this game against the Minnesota Wild? What do you think? Yeah, you think so? Anything is possible when you're a Canucks fan? Do you think it's going to be another... Can we get a 10-7 win against Minnesota? What do you think? Is that possible? Tell me a secret. Yes. Yeah, he agrees. Because that's the thing about being a Canucks fan. We expect them to do really, really good against good teams and really bad against bad teams. We play to the level of the team that we're playing against. So we'll see. Right now, you know, they're being outshot 6-1, but who knows? Who knows, right, Dobberton? Oh, you're such a sweet boy. Dobberton. Dobberton. Okay, I'll let you go now, huh? Yes. Okay. Dobby's just having a little nap. He just got back from his walk, so we won't keep him on for too long. My eyes are glad men aren't wearing their waste management jerseys today. Yeah, that is very hard on the eyes. Garland taking his man down. I don't think they made a call on that because it was a battle for the puck. A good forecheck by Garland. Puck dribbles in on Lankinen and he puts it to the side. Bluegreen. Oh, Hoglander with a shot. You'll have to see it. No, Santa is major. Yeah, but I mean, like, I think that's... Dustin donated $69 to the stream the first day we monetized. And now I think in total he's donated 15 memberships. So I think I'm going to have to start keeping track to see who Santa Claus is. Because one of them is Santa Claus and one of them's got to be the elf, right? Laugh out loud, Gary. Oh no, you threw up 3 times. That's terrible, brother. Sometimes that makes you feel better. Major Tao saying Besser for the first goal. Ooh, and there it is. Minnesota Wild have tripped a player. Shots are 7-2, but the Canucks get the first. Oh, Hoglander trying to battle by, and then the Minnesota player just tripped him. Mr. Merrill going to the box. Canucks get a power play. I love Fleury too, KJ. I want him to play for Team Canada so bad. Major Tao saying 5-3 Canada. I hope so. The Flower. Yeah, he's such a beauty. Garland for the first. Calvin thinks it's going to be Garland. Major thinks it's going to be Besser. Gary Wiseman, I like Fleury, but the machine is always broken. Hughes on the point. Over to PD on the half boards. Hughes, partial block on the pass. Canucks managed to keep control though. Pettersson with room. Skating to the slot with a shot. Got blocked and went wide. 1:30 left to go in the power play. 11 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the period. DeBrusk battling behind the net, getting double teamed. Besser spinning and manages to collect the puck. Pettersson shoots. Good save by Gustafsson. Short side. Now Pettersson again. Canucks are looking good on this power play. Hughes shot, score! Canucks score! There it is. Like I said, you never know what's going to happen. Let's see who got it. We got Pettersson up to Hughes on the point, and then Hughes rips it, and then, yeah, DeBrusk. Did DeBrusk touch it? DeBrusk getting a little tip on? Oh, yeah, so DeBrusk giving the head nod to Mr. Quinn Hughes, captain, oh my captain, bang. I called it, Hughes, you're right. Bang, boom. Yo, boom. Paper using the goal emoji. Big Mac using the goal emoji. Hachiko using the goal emoji. Yay for Granny. Paper saying yes. Gary, Jay has arrived from the future. Yeah, Jay is watching from the future. Welcome, Jay. Nice to see you again, brother. Luke Flyswatter saying score. KJ saying Besser. Gary's so happy he's got his eggplant out. And then Big Hogs Les. I love big PPs. Big PP. That was a big PP. We scored first. Isn't that weird, Jacob? Big Hog Hockey putting the goal emoji in chat with a little orca. Jacob Cozy finally. Good for Hogs to draw the penalty. I called it. Drew loving the new goal emoji. Curtis, he's the one who requested this one. Big PP strikes again. Jacob Cozy, our PP was looking good. Yep. Mike Torrance, woohoo. And then Calvin's like, wait, I called it, not DeBrusk. Almost. And then Major Tao. It's going to be a battle between Major Tao and Dustin, I think. Another gifted sub. This one going out to David DeVilliers. Gifted membership going out. Santa Claus shows up again, Big Hog. You love to see it. Canucks lead 1-0. Looks like they had 2 Yeah, I don't know how many shots they had on that power play. The scoreboard on Sportsnet's just all over the place. Branson picks up the loose puck, banks it off the glass and out to center ice. Good forecheck by Heinen, getting the puck all the way down into the Minnesota zone. And then Ratu collects it on the half boards, takes control. Canucks looking good right now. Juleson with a shot. Susie with a shot, misses it wide, goes all the way around. Juleson collects it on the point. Susie rips it down behind the net. Connor Garland tries to get it up front. Back up to the point on Juleson. Susie, or Heinen on the point. Got Hughes Suter. Thank you, Major Tao. I appreciate you. Sedines must be running our PP. Must not be running our PP anymore. It's actually a guy named Yogi. Yogi is running our power play. Gary, you were right about the PP percentage versus their PK percentage, Russ. Sometimes you get it right. Calvin Charlie using the goal emoji. No, it wasn't Besser. It was Quinn Hughes from the point. We'll see if it gets changed, but DeBrusk was pointing towards Quinn Hughes, so you love to see it. Hughes got it. Paper saying 5-3 Canucks. Major saying looks like laugh out well done, Hughes. Huggy did something. Yeah, Huggy did something positive. Rather than taking a penalty, he drew a penalty, and then the Canucks got a power play goal. So I'll take it. I'll take it. Baby steps, right? So, I mean, you think about some of the guys like Tyler Myers, we were ragging on Susie. We've been ragging on Hoglander a lot lately, but Kaprizov with a shot, Langen with a save, and then clears the rebound with his stick. Pettersson flips it down the ice, high down the ice. Not enough for icing. He's trying to hit the scoreboard, I think. Canucks PP is so good. Yeah, they were looking real good there. Canucks might lose since we scored first. Yeah, that would make sense. That is Canucks logic. Maybe that needs to be a new segment, eh, Big Hog? Canucks logic. And think about all the weird things the Canucks do. Like I said, they seem to play really well against good teams and really bad against bad teams. Lankinen gets a puck that's just trickling through to him. Quinn Hughes, the goal scorer. 8:02 left to go in the first period. Major Tao, I was trying to gift Gary. Paper, Major Tao is Santa. Yep. Jacob Cozy, no bad vibes, Hog. KJ Brazzy, someone clip Russ saying, I love big peepees. Ha ha! Can you clip? I think you can clip on YouTube, can't you? Oh, you guys can't see it, but I still have Dobby right beside me. He's right here. He's going to nap right beside me. So this morning, as I was just getting things set up, working on the stream, because I set up the whole stream here. You don't want to leave the stream set up in the bar like this, you know? I can't just leave it out. So when I was setting up the stream in the bar, my wife decided to have a quick little nap before work and grabbed Dobby and just had him just like this. And he was just like taxidermy dog, just sleeping there. And they both fell asleep, and it was so precious. It was so precious. Jacob, you did something. And Papers, yeah, we are looking good. Jacob Cozy, I left a comment just before you went to the game. Okay, yeah. So you guys are so active in chat. So my setup here, I only have a certain amount of chat that it keeps until it just flips over to the next one. I guess there's probably a buffer, Jay. So I'm sorry I missed your first comment, but welcome, Jay. Keeping me up to date, watching from the future. Oh my, B. Oh yeah, Brock Besser made his NHL debut in Minnesota, scored in his first game too. Major Tao, slow and steady here where Dusty donates in bunches. Yep. Yeah. Someone clip that. Minnesota fads are mad right now. Yep. I appreciate the sentiment, Major Tao. Santa Tao. Major Santa Claus Tao. Canucks looking strong. Gary, we need this good start as well probably fizzle out towards the end. Yeah, you're very right. 6th game of a road trip, you don't want to be playing from behind on the road, especially against a team like Minnesota, because they are the best team defensively when it comes to goals for, goals against. Dakota Joshua carries into the zone, wraps it around behind the net. Garland collects it, tries to get it over to Suter, can't get it to go. Canucks still forechecking. The referee gets in the way. Was almost helpful for us. Juleson collects the puck, gets it up to Joshua, over to Suter, collects the puck, dumps it into the corner. Garland tries to get it on it, but can't get to the puck. The Canucks will start a change here. Yeah, you got Max Sasson onto the ice, young man. Big hog. If I ran our PP, we would be so good because I'm good with PPs. Now, I think you guys are just trying to get me to say things, and then you're going to clip it and make me look like a fool. I compared DeBrusk to Lou Eriksson for the start of the season. Now I take back. He's on fire. Yeah, I think he's on pace now for... What is he on pace for? Like 35 goals or something like that? Learn the rules. Big hog. What the? B-Dog in the chat. Welcome, B-Dog. Gary Wiseman, he's asserting his dominance with his big PP energy. Minnesota has more giveaways than us. Isn't that weird? Max Sasson getting into it. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the stats here. Yeah, so the goal was Quinn Hughes from Pettersson and Garland on the power play. Hughes stepping up, intercepting the pass. Oh, I couldn't get the puck down low, though. Don't you know? The next back check is looking good right now. Eriksson X fails to tip the puck. Oh, puck goes out to center ice. Canucks will take it. They can get a change on now. Minnesota in on the forecheck. Sherwood throws another hit. Kiefer Sherwood's still on pace for like 500 hits or something like that. It's wild. DeBrusk tries to get the puck to go, but Minnesota intercepts, carries it into the zone. It's like Susie lost his stick. So he's defending in front of the net without a stick. Just really bad. Bluger trying to get to it. Can't quite get it to go. .41 left to go in the game, or in the first period. It's not the game yet. Boldy with a shot. Looked like it went wide of the net. Lankinen with another save. Susie puts it back to Lankinen, and this time Lankinen's able to cover up. Now Susie's getting into it. Little chat for the boys. Eriksson Ek and Sherwood getting into it. Eriksson Ek shoving his elbow into Sherwood's face. Whoo! Major Tau, you can clip, bro. Uh-oh. Yeah, my wife, she is smiling. Dobby makes her smile all the time. Next step, dual screens. Dual screens. Yeah, I have 2 screens in front of me right now. I've got my Chromebook set up, so I've got like stats, and I've got like the Canucks schedule, and then like a little bit of like script stuff, so like questions I want to make sure I ask and stuff like that. And then I've also got all of like the controls for all the overlays and stuff like that on there. Noah Dang in the chat. Welcome, Noah Dang, saying it's going to be a 4-2 Canucks win. Jay Bocott, I just said, as expected, Phil will be out for quite some time. Yeah. So Mr. Hronik, they just announced today he had surgery. And we'll chat about that with Dustin during the first intermission. Paper, I'm not saying that out loud. Let's get to first place in the standings. 10-5 shots, yeah. Segmina in the chat. Welcome, Segmina. 43 equals the truth. Absolutely. Okay, this little, since you're saying that, I'm gonna first poll question. We haven't been doing as many poll questions because chaos. Quinn Hughes wins the ... Norris again. Hart and Norris. Hart, Norris, and Lady Bing. Stanley. There we go. Here's your first poll question of the stream, people. Let's see what you think. Quinn Hughes wins what? The Norris again, the Norris and the Hart, the Norris, and the Lady Bing, or the Stanley Cup this year. Yeah, now Minnesota has 12 shots on net. Yes, Segma. Got some agreement there, Segma. Segmina. Gary Osmond, can they handle that much PP? Big Hog, 20 games played for Abbotsford by John Stevens. Jacob Cozy, a clutch move would be to start Demko third. Quinn Hughes knocks his man down. Minnesota controlling in the Canucks zone again. Block shot, double blocked. And then Myers intercepts a pass. The Canucks chip it down the ice. I don't know if it has the weight. Perfect weight. Good curling weight there. Doesn't get it far enough down. Oh, Big Hog saying 200 games played for John Stevens for the Abbey Canucks. Yeah, we can ask Dustin about that too, because we always talk about the Abbey Canucks with Dustin. Is Quinn a big, small guy or a small, big guy? He's a big, small guy. Final answer. Is Demko on the bench? No. It is Mr. Shilov's on the bench for the Canucks as the backup tonight. Hachiko Stanley Cup. Hashtag have faith. Not winning the Stanley with our current D. Calvin 999 Charlie. Never mind. Shilov's would be sent down. Yeah. So Shilov's, once Demko's back, would be... I think Shilov's is getting sent down as soon as Demko comes back. Maybe they hang on to him for a little while just to make sure that Demko's good. But yeah, Shilov's needs some time to marinate down at the AHL. Looks like my wife's going for a workout. Everyone say bye to my wife. Dobby's saying bye to my wife too. Demko's still hurt, paper. 2-on-1 Canucks. DeBrusk shot on a 2-on-1 save, and then he collected the rebound, got another shot off. Canucks step up. Susie does good to step up at center ice and get the puck down low. Canucks moving on the forecheck, but Minnesota carries it out. Yeah, Demko's been hurt since the playoffs last year. All of the above, says Big Hog. Is he still on a 2-way? Shilov's is signed to a one-way contract, but because of his age and the amount of games he's played, he is waiver exempt. So he signed a one-way contract, but the Canucks can send him down without having to put him on waivers because he's only played regular season games this year. Spurgeon long shot, Lankinen with another save. Myers puts it all the way down into the Minnesota zone. Whew. A minute and 5 seconds left to go in the period. Quinn Hughes lets the puck go all the way around the boards to Bluger. Bluger gets it off the glass and down into the center ice area. And then another Minnesota shot. Noah Juleson knocks his man down, takes the puck. Quinn Hughes collects it. Hoglander collects it at center. Tried to put it over to Sherwood, but Sherwood was just thinking about going for a change. Woo! Bye, wife. Bye. Bye, Russ's wife. Bye-bye, Mrs. Captain. See ya. No! Hashtag justice for Fuji. Hashtag justice for Fuji. Hashtag justice for Fuji. Free Fuji. Justice for Fuji. Yeah, maybe we can start a petition. Maybe Biden can give a presidential pardon to Fuji. Hachiko starting the hashtag justice for Fuji back when we had Hachiko live from LA. Okay, so we're into the first intermission now. Canucks lead 1-0. Who would have thought? Okay. So you know what that means. That means it's time to get my better half on here. And not my wife, my better half. It's time to get my better half, as in Dustin, on here. So let's get him on the line. Let's see here. Start a video call. There, I can see his face. All right. No, one of the most generous men trying to take out Major Tau as the Santa Claus for our stream here. The handsome, the kind, the wonderful Mr. Dustin Boydell. Thanks, buddy.
Hello, sir.
I appreciate you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Happy to be up 1-0 there.
Yeah, it's strange, right? Because you just said last game that you were happy to be down 1-0 after the first period. You'd call that up. So what the heck do you call it when we're actually up 1-0 after the first period?
All according to plan.
Yeah, so let's hop into it then. Let's talk about the ups and downs. What did you like about the Canucks game so far?
So far, it's a pretty tidy game for the end of a long road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what you expected Minnesota to have the majority of the shots in that period, but overall we did a good job of keeping them to low danger chances. Really, only one or two of those 13 shots they had on net were really worrisome.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much only one odd man rush the whole period. So overall, the forwards are doing a really good job of back checking and supporting the defense. I'd like to see more shots, obviously, on the Minnesota net, but we did a good job of capitalizing on our power play, which Minnesota does not give a lot up of. They do a good job of staying out of the box because the one flaw in their game is their penalty kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw that. I talked about that when we were going through the stats to start the game. It was surprising that Minnesota's power play is one of, like, I think their penalty kills ranked like 27th in the whole league. And they don't have a really good power play either, considering how much power they have over there. So that's kind of what I said. I hope maybe the percentages for Minnesota makes the Canucks percentages look good. And so far, yeah, the Canucks are 1 for 1 on the power play, and it looked deadly too. There was a lot of good chances even before they scored.
Yeah, and good on Hoglander too for drawing that penalty. He had a good first couple shifts there and a good period, and let's hope he can keep that up for the rest of the game. Yeah,
we'll give Hoglander an up for drawing a penalty, but I'm going to give Hoglander a down for his drop pass right at center ice when they're about to get a line change, and that nothing came of it, but that's the exact kind of play that they don't want him doing, because obviously when you're trying to get a change, just get the puck down low and then get your booty off the ice, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he had another turnover there late in our end that wasn't really super dangerous, but could have ended up in our net. So, yeah, while there's some positives, Hoglander's still definitely making those mistakes that could end him up riding the pine for the rest of the game. So he's got to clean that up.
Yeah, we'll give an up to the face-offs because Canucks actually were really good in the face-off so far through the first period. They won 66.7% of those faceoffs. So absolutely, I mean, you can pretty much call that domination at NHL level when you're winning that high of a percentage. Are you surprised by that? Because the Canucks have been struggling a little bit, or is this just maybe facing a team that doesn't have as much strength up the center?
I think it's a little of both. I think the Canucks have shown they've worked on their face-off game and have worked to improve it. Obviously, you're going to match up against other teams differently throughout the year, but the way Ratu's been working on his face-off ability and Bluger as well, I'm not entirely surprised. That being said, it is just one period. What there was a very quick period. There wasn't a ton of face-offs, so small sample size. We'll revisit it again at post game and see if we're still dominating as well as we are.
Yeah, one of the first times I've seen it too. Through the first period, the Canucks have 4 hits. Minnesota has 5. So one of the only times I've seen Canucks actually trail a game with hits. But expect to see that pick up as the night goes on. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. We got to keep being physical on Minnesota because you can see how quickly they can strike. They can get the puck up the ice real quick, and they like to shoot off the breakout and go for rebounds. They don't like to necessarily jump in, set up, and slow it down unless that's something that has come off of offensive zone faceoff. So we got to be aware how quickly they can get back behind our forwards and make it an odd man rush on our D-men.
Yeah. And then Minnesota too with 8 giveaways in that game. So I feel like that probably is in part because of that good back check from the Canucks.
Yeah, the forwards are doing a great job of back checking, and that will in turn lead to the giveaways and takeaways. So we got to keep that up and keep putting the pressure on Minnesota, and the mistakes will come, and we will have to capitalize on them like we did on that power play.
Yeah, we're thinking about starting a new segment here on the stream called Canucks Logic, where we go through all the strange things that seem to happen to this team with former players scoring on us and playing really well against the best team in the league and losing to Nashville as they're the worst team in the league. Like it seems to be chaos. There's no rhyme or reason, so we'll call it Canucks Logic.
Absolutely. If you can think of any movie storyline or script, or it couldn't be written any better or worse for the Canucks, is pretty much how it goes.
Yeah. So let's hop on to the next one, because obviously Mr. Lankinen literally just set an NHL record, which you don't see very often. What was the record and who did he beat out?
He set the record for the most road wins to start a season. And I believe he just beat out Hellebuck was the one who held it. I think he just said it last year, did he not?
So I've just pulled up the stats here. So you got Martin Brodeur in 2009, 2010 had 8 wins on the road to start the season. Glenn Hall had 9 in 65, 66. And Cam Talbot, of all people, had the 9 as well. So and then Brent Johnson is another guy who I don't really remember. It kind of rings a bell, but back in 2000,
St. Louis Blue, I think.
Yeah, you're right. I've got the picture. You can't see it, but the viewers can see it. So yeah, Kevin Lankinen now taking out Cam Talbot, Glenn Hall. I mean, Cam Talbot, whatever. He's had his moments, but Glenn Hall and Martin Brodeur are 2 big names on that list. So Kevin Lankinen now with the most road wins to start an NHL season ever, which is wild.
He continues to be the steal of free agency. I have no idea how this guy made it all the way to September without an NHL contract. You look around the league, and there's a lot of teams that would kill to have his services right now. There's not many teams that could have gone into camp with no starter and have the start that we've had to our season. The fact we're above 500 is just incredible, and for him to have gone in and set this record, I mean, he's well on his way in this game to improving that record again.
Putting some distance between him and the competition. What do you think it is about his game that has been so successful under the Canucks system?
I think it's just a stable game. He doesn't really give up any major aggressive rebounds. His puck control is really solid off of shots.
Mm-hmm.
His communication with the defenseman is good. His puck handling outside of the crease is strong. He also takes away the top of the net really well, so he doesn't get beat up high. Really, it's really hard to find a weakness in his game. He's a very strong goaltender, and I think he was just maybe a little bit of a late bloomer and stuck behind other goalies that were higher up the depth chart for the beginning of his career. He's definitely given us a great cushion to work with in points until Demko comes back, and even going forward, he allows you that luxury of easing the workload on Demko when he returns.
I know there's a guy who joins Sportsnet 650 quite often, Kevin Woodley, and I briefly saw an article where essentially they picked him as one of the breakout goaltender stars for the league. So if you're asking the goaltending experts, they're not surprised by this. So clearly they were seeing something going on even before the Canucks signed him.
Yeah, if you look into a lot of the analytics, then there's some guys that have been breaking it down recently because of his record that he just set, and he's starting to turn them heads. His analytics have always pointed to him having the ability to be a starting goalie and having the skill and talent. He just was one of those people that kind of slipped through the cracks for a lot of years, and now he's fourth in wins with 12. His save percentage is above 90, so he's sitting at a 907 save percentage right now. Goals against average of 2.65. I mean, his numbers are matching those like Shesterkin and Hellebuck and some major star goalies across the league. So he's inserting himself into that conversation of maybe being a breakout star.
So let's go from some good news for the Canucks to some bad news for the Canucks, which just came out this afternoon. I think the Canucks announced that Filip Hronek has undergone successful surgery on his shoulder. And what did they say? He's going to be out till end of January, early February, probably.
Yeah, so interesting thing about this is he's going to be out 8 weeks with the shoulder injury, but the shoulder didn't require the surgery. Because he is going to be out for 8 weeks anyways, they decided to do a minor surgery on an unrelated lower body injury, which was successful and will also heal in that time frame. So it was kind of a kill two birds with one stone type situation. Or as someone I heard say today, they said, "Oh, he went in for a separated shoulder and he figured he might as well get a circumcision."
Oh, it kind of reminds me of the time I had an issue with the oxygen sensor in my car, and I took it in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well we're gonna have to take the timing belt off anyway, so we might as well do that right now too, right? We'll do it for cheap." So maybe you got a deal, right?
Yeah, exactly. 2 for 1.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, then there's our answer, right? We were wondering like how much time is he going to be out for? Now we got a kind of a clear timeline on it. So now we're looking at the Canucks hopefully picking up maybe another right side D, but again, we talk about players that have stepped up in the absence of other players this year with all the adversity the Canucks have been going through. Like Julesen's been looking really good. Tyler Myers has been, asserting himself pretty well playing on that line with Myers. And then even Carson Soucy, right, has kind of turned things around, simplified his game. So the Canucks are already saying we're not going to be pushed around. We're not going to panic. But if the trade presents itself, you think they're probably still looking to upgrade that right side?
Oh, you always are looking to upgrade your right side. It's a hot commodity in the NHL. It's a good and bad news situation. Obviously, the bad news is that he's out for 8 weeks, but the good news is they don't have to go after a big fish defenseman. The team can survive the 8 weeks with patchwork right now. What they do need is stability on the blue line and future stability. So I think now the plans will have returned to building for the future and going after a younger guy like a Keandre Miller or a Marcus Pettersson, that type of player that they can sign long term and build a core top 4 around. Whereas had Hronek been out until the playoffs and longer than that, we might have been looking at going after somebody like a Jacob Trouba or a big fish that brings a lot of stability or a veteran presence to that blue line. Not necessarily the answer, but something that might have forced Alvin's hand. At least now he has a little time to wait with Hronek returning probably around Valentine's Day.
Oh, that'd be a nice Valentine's Day present for us.
Definitely.
So I wanted to chat with you a little bit about the Four Nations Cup coming up in February, replacing the All-Star game this year.
Mhm.
They're announcing we can stop speculating. They're announcing the rosters tomorrow, but we're going to speculate for just a little bit more. Do you have
Yep.
any hot takes, dark horses, anything you can see on the 4 rosters you could see happening tomorrow when they announce the Four Nations Cup rosters for the 4 teams? Anything you might think might take people by surprise?
I would not be surprised if Kevin Lankinen is named the starting goalie for Team Finland. Given the way he has started this season, he has played his way onto that team for sure.
So then the other question I had about the Four Nations Cup, because obviously we're going to be off for, what is it? They're shutting things down for a week or something like that. Should I be covering Canada, or should we be streaming one of these other teams? Like, should we be streaming Team America if we got Quinn Hughes and Garland and Besser and Miller possibly playing for that team? Should we be looking for Canucks content rather than our national pride?
Well, I think during that, because it's such a NHL driven thing, we definitely should maybe be cheering for our boys, right? Like if Demko were playing as well, our American content would be much greater than that of any Canadian content. I don't think we have a chance of any Canadian players in this Four Nations Cup. Realistically, we have the best shot of some guys making Team USA.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we got Petey likely making Team Sweden,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I'm pretty sure that Kevin Lankinen will be playing in goal for Finland. Really, other than that, it's just Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in Buffalo.
Well, they got UC Saros too, but I mean, with the way that the Nashville Predators have been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if they do give Lankinen a look, because if you think about it too, technically every single game is going to be a road game for them. So,
yep, there you go.
So before we get back to the action, got a couple minutes here. Let's talk about the baby Canucks down the road in Abbotsford. They got a couple games coming up this weekend against the Colorado Eagles. They've already played them a couple times so far this year, haven't they?
Yes, I believe so. They have played them early in October. They played them a couple times, and that was one of those when we were on our win one lose one kind of streak.
Right.
So we split a series with them in October, and that was in Colorado. So we'll be looking to improve on that when they come to town this weekend. They play Saturday the 7th at 7 p.m. and then we play them again Sunday the 8th at 4 p.m. I've been looking for updates on Patera. I haven't seen if he's skated or not recently, but he has been out since November 7th when he left a game early in the first period with a lower body injury. So keeping our eyes on that situation, obviously with Demko being close and Patera being close, we'll have a bit of a goalie log jam once Shelovs needs a home as well. So other than that, there's nothing major to report. A pretty successful road trip. 6 games, went 4-2. And we look to continue our winning ways when we return to action on Saturday.
And someone in chat was saying, was it John Stevens has played his 200th game for the baby Canucks or something like that coming up here? Or he has?
Yep. He played his 200th game, was the last game that he played down in, where was it there? When they played last weekend in San Jose. Yeah. John Stevens did play his 200th game, and he is still tied for the lead on the team with 13 points, 3 goals, and 10 assists. So he is having a nice, tidy year playing down the lineup playing in more of a fourth line role. So really, really performing well for the baby Canucks.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Dustin. You're going to be around for the post-game show?
We will be here.
Awesome, brother. We'll talk to you then.
Sounds good.
Mr. Dustin Boydell, the legend, the most one of the most generous guys in chat, we should say, because he is out here dropping gifted subs for a lot of people out here. I think he's up to 15 now. And then, as y'all remember, on the very first day we had him on during our monetization stream, we had him drop a $69 donation as well, which is amazing to see. All right. 1-0 Canucks lead. We have the second period about to get going. Let's see what we can do here, boys. Let's see what we can do. Canucks, Wild. Nothing is perfect. Russell Holiday, puck is dropped. 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50. Game is under. Game is under control, I'd say, right now. Canucks are playing a decent road game. Let's put it that way. Decent period. They are a good team. Was an okay period. Yep. It's the Wild, brother. Big Hog's like, Dusty! Oh no. I don't pay attention for 1 second. And the Canucks think they can ice the puck? Learn the rules. Throw the book at them, kids. Guess let's end this poll too here. Quinn Hughes this year will win. And the winner of the poll is the Stanley Cup. Everyone thinks Quinn Hughes wins the Stanley Cup this year. 31% of you are saying Hart and Norris. And then Norris again, 20%. And then people are saying Hart, Norris, and Lady Byng. 13% of you are saying that. Dakota Joshua carries the puck to center ice. Whistle is gone. What's happening? Are they calling a penalty? Kaprizov, instead of scoring goals, has decided to take a penalty. Major shout. I remember when Fuji was younger, he believed in justice, and it's up to us as individuals to realize that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Dusty, thank you, my guy. Yeah, I think you got one of his gifted subs, didn't you, KJ? There's the rule book to throw at him. Yeah. Minnesota has gifted us another power play, just like Dusty gifted some people some subs, some memberships today. Canucks win the faceoff-ish, but then Minnesota steps through and puts the puck all the way down the ice. Big PP! Their penalty kill was 30th in the league last year. Hughes with a shot. Just a little tip from Besser, but it still goes wide. Pass back, and then intercepted by Minnesota. They carry out. And then Quinn Hughes does well to prevent any chance from happening shorthanded. Now the Canucks carry it out. 4-on-2 coming in because Minnesota changed for some reason, which was a terrible choice. Shot wide, rings around the boards and all the way down the ice. You hate to see it. Yeah, Minnesota changing. What a terrible time to change. Canucks collect the puck in their own zone. Brock Besser carries it out through the blue line. Now center ice, pass across. Garland knocked off his stride. In on the forecheck, though. Minnesota gets it behind their own net. Canucks still forechecking, recover the puck. Do well to recover the puck. Connor Garland collecting it, controlling in the corner. Pass on to Besser onto the near side here. Besser looking for options. Quinn Hughes tapping his stick, gets the puck on the blue line. Besser puts it to the middle. Joshua jamming away in the front of the net. Yeah, Besser with a good shot. Rebound drops, and then Dakota Joshua in front trying to bang one in. Gustafsson manages to cover the puck. Hello, give and go up and high in the slot between Pettersson and Besser, and then a shot to the front of the net. But Quinn Hughes did really good on this back check too, to prevent Eriksson Ek. And then instead of chasing back Eriksson Ek, just goes to the bench. Created a 4-on-2 for the Canucks. Got the second power play unit out. Branstrom shoots it. And then I think it deflected off of a stick and then out of play. 16 seconds left to go in the power play. Second power play unit out. Six seconds left. Myers down low, out front. And then Joshua couldn't get a good shot off Puck gets cleared all the way down the ice. Canucks are 1 for 2 on the power play. Sherwood throws another hit. Kaprizov back into the game. Lankinen stops the puck behind the net, rings it around the boards, gets intercepted by Minnesota, but then the Canucks take it back. Juleson skating it up the half boards, flips it to center ice. Hoglander collects it. Oh, close play at the line there too. Couldn't control the puck though. Then Susie steps up and intercepts a pass. Canucks put it down low, going on the forecheck. Bluger in there. Sherwood and Hoglander, but they can't come up with the puck. Now Minnesota skates to center, dumps the puck into the Canucks zone. Darnay takes his man. Now Brandstrom's pinned to the boards and a rugby game breaks out. Minnesota kicks the puck out and it gets intercepted by Hoglander, who puts it out to center, but not a great pass. And then the Wild think we're making cake here. And they're just here mixing up a whole batch of icing. Learn the rules, Minnesota. It's wild that you don't know already what the rules are. Whew. Hooking. Yeah, it was a hooking call. Major says, I think PD is due here. Big Mac helping them learn the rules, getting a copy of the book there, the rule book. Another interception by a Canucks defenseman stepping up at center ice. There's been a lot of that. The Canucks defense have been doing that a lot lately, where they see where the pass is coming, step up, especially Tyler Myers. Susie's done it a couple times today. Canucks fourth line out with Ratu, Sasson, and Heinen. And then another situation. Minnesota's got 2 guys streaking in, and then the Vancouver Canucks have 4 guys back. Sasson collects the puck through center ice, 1-on-1, waits for help. Oh, tries to feed it through, can't get it to go. Deflected, and then Minnesota carries it out to center ice, dumps it in. Darnay pokes it to the corner. Too far for Brandstrom. Faber with a shot. Lankinen with a save. Might have even been blocked in front. Whoo, Paper giving them a copy of the rulebook. That's a lot of copies of the rulebook. Maybe they'll learn their lesson. It is crazy how the NHL players don't know these rules. Canucks with another shot. Save by Gustafson in front. Whew. Now the Canucks first line comes out, looks like. Juleson and Susie on the ice. Pettersson, Besser, DeBrusk in an offensive zone face-off. Shots are now 10-3. Minnesota leading slightly. And then PD loses a face-off in the offensive zone, unfortunately. Minnesota puts the puck, bad pass. Then Juleson collects it, gets it up to Besser. Besser tries to get a pass up to PD. He gets it anyways, throws a reverse hit there too. You gotta love the reverse hit. Major Tao also giving him a copy of the rules. Major Tao thinks Conn Smythe for Hughes. Connor Garland intercepts a pass. Takes some time. Skates through his own zone. Then dumps it in. And then it's going to be an icing call. Joshua doesn't like the call. But you know what? It is what it is, because we need to make sure that we understand the rules, Canucks. And I understand that you're trying to do something fancy and beat the icing call out. But you need to make sure that when you do that, that your player has the advantage and he's going to get to it. Otherwise, you end up icing the puck. So maybe the Canucks need to learn the rules. Dave DeVilliers thinking it's going to be 3-1 Canucks. Kaprizov hits a post. Dave loves Garland's stash. Gotta love that Garland stash. He actually trimmed it a bit, but I think it's already grown back in because he's a father. Oh! Puck blocked in front. Minnesota tries to deflect it to the front of the net. Susie does well to take the stick and then take the man. But the Canucks can't get the puck back. Now Suter does well to collect it. Puts it up to Joshua. Joshua collects it at center ice. He'll dump it down. And they'll go for a change. Gary, it's filthy. Built for the playoffs. Whew. Canucks intercept it. Get it down low. Got Hoglander putting it down low for Bluger. Bluger drops it for Sherwood. Sherwood misses the puck. Hoglander's there to battle for the puck. And then Bluger re-arrives, but Minnesota gets the puck. Clears it off the glass, down the ice, where Tyler Myers collects it. And then also puts it off the glass to center ice. Bluger up to Sherwood. Sherwood drops it for Hoglander. Hoglander gets it down low. Sherwood throws a reverse hit. Puts it up to the blue line. Tyler Myers with a shot wide. And then I think it went off a stick and out of play. Major Tau. If blank gets I'll be extremely happy. I think you speak for all of us, Major. Yep. Dave DeVilliers, I vote he doesn't shave it until the end of the playoff with the cup. Yeah, that is the tradition, right? And so that's the thing, guys. The sneak preview is once the playoffs start, this will be shaved off, and you will, for the first time, get to see babyface me. Because I keep my beard pretty much year round. But at the beginning of the playoffs, I shave this thing off, and then I let it go. I don't trim it. I don't mold it. It just gets like this. I should actually see if I can... I'll quickly see if I can find that picture. Where did I have it? There's a picture of me with my beard after the Canucks 2011 Stanley Cup run, and it was beastly. Let's see. Oh, that's not there. Okay, here it is. Yeah, here it is. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to bring this up for you guys here. I'll add it in. We're doing stuff on the fly here. Image. Okay. Browse. Pictures. Yeah, here it is. This is what my beard looked like at the end of the 2011 run. Right? Look at how beastly that is. Right? This is what it's going to look like if the Canucks make the Stanley. It'll probably even be thicker than that because that was 2011. I'm more of a man than I was before. But this is the tradition. I start off baby-faced, and then after that, we don't shave until the Canucks get knocked out of the playoffs. The tradition continues. Calvin Charlie 999, why'd you censor shoot? KJ, Garley needs to grow the Yosemite Sam stash. Wouldn't that be epic? It all curls up at the ends there. He could do it too. Canucks control in the zone. Pettersson collects it in the hash marks. Over to Quinn Hughes. Tyler Myers on the point. Back to Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes walking the blue line, does a little button hook, puts it down low, but nobody's there to collect the pass. Now it's a 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Oh, man. Brutal. Minnesota ties it on a misplay by the Canucks. Got too cute. Breakdown, and it ends up in the back of their net. With the top line out and the top defensive pair, no less. 3-on-1, wow. And then Tyler Myers is just standing right in the middle, screening Lankinen, unfortunately. And then, but yeah, I don't think Lankinen saw that one at all with that big frame of Tyler Myers in front of him. And then Quinn Hughes got a little bit interfered with there. So, hate to see it. Posted bail out there, Lanky. Bruh. Damn, sexy. How'd you type? KJ, better than mine. I can't grow a beard or barely a mustache, even laugh out loud. I'm 32, but I'm native, so maybe that explains it. Never know. Blocked in front by Desharnais. Canucks trying to get control of the puck. Dakota Joshua breaks it up. Then Suter collects the puck at center ice, dumps it into the Minnesota zone, and the Canucks will get a change. Look at that. We got another sub here. 747. It's like an airplane. This airplane's flying off to 1,000. Woo! Whoever just subbed, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Pushing for 1,000. Canucks fourth line out now. Sasson, Ratu, Heinen battling in the corner. Heinen can't come up with a puck. Minnesota passes back and forth, collects the puck, moves out to center ice. Rips it into the Canucks zone. Juleson and Sasson double team the man on the boards. Rugby game breaks out. Spurgeon in center, but he gets checked. Now Brandstrom battling the man in the corner. Ratu throws a hit. Spurgeon with a weak shot on, and Lankinen just goes bloop, bloop, glove save. Dave DeVilliers, I'm caveman styles. Yep. And Big Mac's like, $1 in the jar. And then Paper's like, Hachiko is banned. Is he? Laugh out loud. No, Hachiko's not banned. I don't know if Hachiko's in here right now. Why, cousin? Why? Nah, JK. Damn, did he do this time? Laugh out loud. Oh no. Gary's saying, oh no. Oh, laugh out loud. Hachiko is banned. He's a Minnesota fan. No, Hachiko's not banned. Hachiko got a temporary timeout last game when he kept on using the Canucks goal symbol for the other team's goal symbol. But then our king of the mods, Drew, asked us not to ban Hachiko because of free speech or something like that. Puck all the way down the ice. And Minnesota breaks the rule. Do you see how many copies of the rule book we've gotten them for them so far this game? And they still don't know it. Maybe a book's not good enough. I mean, I don't like reading books. Do you guys like reading books? I'd rather watch a video. I can learn more from a video. It's more enthralling, you know? So maybe we should get them a copy of the rules, but in a video? Learn the rules. Canucks lose another faceoff in the offensive zone. Looks like Petey's struggling a little bit in the offensive zone. Long shot wide to the corner. Puck out front again. Canucks top line getting run around in the zone again. Struggling in the defensive zone, the top line is. And the top pair too. Myers collects the puck behind the net. Puts it back down to Hughes. And they'll collect their thoughts. Hughes whips it right up to the blue line. And Minnesota recollects the puck in their own zone and skates it out. Calvin, or hair doesn't grow on muscles. Maybe it doesn't. That would make sense. Oh, there's another square jar for Major Chow. Big Hog starting the wave. Minnesota still controlling in the zone. Blocked in front by Hughes. Steps up. Gets the puck up to Connor Garland, who skates out to center and dumps the puck in. The Canucks will finish their change, which they started. Big Hog waving. Hachiko is a mod on the Wild channel. Laugh out loud. Oh, is he? That's funny. Hachiko, I'm messing around with my phone I got today. So Hachiko is here, but is messing around with the new phone. What kind of new phone? What'd you get? Blocked in front. Branstrom kicks it up to the half boards. Suter puts it off the glass and out. High off the glass. Dakota Joshua trying to use his feet to collect the puck. Lead pass out. Oh, and Johansson can't collect the pass. Lucky for the Canucks. Another shot to the front of net. Minnesota shot it wide because the deflection didn't work. 7:33 left to go in the second period here. Minnesota with another shot tip. Dan Heinen getting out to center. Manages to block the clearing attempt. Ratu onto the puck, but throws a hit and can't get the puck. But he got a hit. We like hits. Hachiko is listening to the stream, though. Now another save from Lankinen. Picking up right where he left off, I guess. Suter with Ratu with another hit behind the net. 4-on-3. Wrist shot high and wide around the boards all the way to center ice where Minnesota collects it. Dan Heinen pressures Minnesota and then hops off for a change. Max Sasson gets off the ice too. We got a full line change except for it looks like Ratu's still out there at center. And now Susi has taken the first Canucks penalty of the game. Minnesota getting a power play. Big Hog's like, new phone? There you are. Renewed iPhone from Amazon. So is that an iPhone that's been refurbished? Paper putting some rule books in the chat for Minnesota. Big Hog likes it. And Hachiko says, so not new, but it was cheaper. Yeah. It's like buying a car. Buying a car is great because you get the pre-owned ones. But like the one that used to be like a lease, and then it's way cheaper because as soon as you buy a car, the value on it just so not a bad idea to buy a gently loved car or a gently loved phone like Hachiko did. Calvin was waiting for you to change your profile picture. Laugh out loud. Major Tao, Hachiko is back. Hachiko, I didn't even notice we got scored on. Even he can't cheer for the Wild. Big Hog putting all the rule books in the chat. Get a copy for everyone on their entire team there. Hachiko, because we're going against the team we lost 10-7, I'm obligated to stick with the Canucks through the entire game tonight. Thank you, Hachiko, for not flip-flopping tonight. Gary Rasman. Hachiko, by we, do you mean the Canucks, Sharks, Penguins, Sabres, etc.? Steel doesn't grow on steel, champ. Well, Russ, I didn't have any tickets to the gun show. Well, you got in for free. You also get to see, like, there's a little hole right there. And there's a little hole right there. I tend to blow up my armpits. The armpits of all my shirts and then the crotches of all my pants. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. I got 5 suits and every single one has a blown out crotch. So it is what it is. Paper getting part of the wave. It was an iPhone SE from 2020. Like a bunch of puppies chasing a ball. Yeah, that's kind of what the Canucks were looking like on that shift. Thank God for Lanky. We love Lanky, Dave. Dave, have you ever heard the song? These are the Daves I know. These are the Daves I know. Careful with that phone, Hachiko. It's from 2020. Canucks lose the face-off to start the penalty kill, and then Minnesota controls. Minnesota controlling around the outside. Kaprizov in the middle. Puck goes to the middle, and then Kaprizov gets a... I don't know if he got a shot. Looks like it got interrupted. Russ with the humble brag. I know what you're talking about. I plead the 5th. Dope. I'm assuming that's for the penalty. The Wild look like the Flash. Yeah, they're moving quick. Mike Torrance, one shot on net this period, W2F. The Canucks are back to their old ways. Spurgeon with a shot. Wild come up with the puck after a missed shot. Canucks actually have 3 shots this period. Lankinen lost his stick and then manages to collect the puck. Lankinen put his hand in the air for a second there. I think he was maybe trying to call for a penalty, but luckily he reacted. Zachary. Hey. Sup? Gary Wiseman, exactly the same. Armpits and crotch. Big hog. Hey, yo. Gary Wiseman, I swim in jammers. One day I noticed a hole in the crotch. Don't know how long that hole was there for. Sorry for anyone swimming behind me. Whoops. Whoops, Gary. Definitely not the piece of clothing that you want to have failing on you. Welcome back. Everyone say hi to my wife. She's back from her workout. Sturgeon does well to, oh, sorry, not sturgeon, not the fish. Spurgeon actually got that one on the blue line, but then Pettersson collected and shot it all the way down the ice. Gazoon tight. Minnesota carries the puck in offside. Eriksson Ek grabs Desharnais, and Desharnais just gets a big smile on his face. Eriksson Ek, calm down, buddy. Everything's going to be okay. Big Hog says hi. Big Mac says hi, Mrs. Captain. KJ says hi, Russ's wife. Paper says hi, wifey. Hachiko says hello, wife. She says hello. Myers just pushed Boldy into the linesman. Now he's getting a talking to. It's like, bro, he's being a jerk. Myers and Boldy slowly inching their way towards the face-off dot there. Canucks lose another face-off, so Minnesota's picked that part up. Tyler Myers. Sherwood just got obliterated in the corner. Boldy with a shot. Sherwood collects the puck. He's no worse for wear. He clears it all the way down the ice. Eriksson Ek running around out there. 20 seconds left to go on the power play for the Wild. 4:53 left to go in the second period. Eriksson Ek with a shot. Now Sherwood taking a minute on the bench. Maybe got winded there. Even after he took that big check, still manages to clear it down. And that was a high hit too. That forearm hits his ear. That should have been a penalty. He jumped into it too. What a piece of crap. Brutal. Scramble draw. Canucks come up with it. Suter collects behind the net, rings it around the boards, all the way down the ice. Penalty is over for the Canucks. 2 shots on the power play for the Minnesota Wild. Shots are now 18-10 Minnesota. 18-10 Minnesota, eh? Don't you know? Canucks now have their top line out again, who have been struggling in the defensive zone against Minnesota. Against the Wild. Desharnais collects the puck, puts it over to Brandstrom. Brandstrom gets it up to the half boards on DeBrusk, who puts it up over to Desharnais, who passes it up to Petey. Petey loses the puck. And then Hughes collects it at center ice, puts it back up. Pettersson writs it down, makes sure to get it down low this time. Gustafsson pass gets blocked by Besser, but Minnesota collects the puck and carries it out. I haven't, but probably I will probably have that in my head for the next 2 days. I'm glad. You'll have to Google it. These are the days. I know. Canucks control the puck. But the puck jumps on Hughes at the blue line, and Puck goes all the way out to the Canucks zone. Now it's just ping pong. We're watching tennis here. Puck going up and down the ice. Nothing really happening. Tennis out here. Myers gets center ice and rips it into the Minnesota zone. Suter comes in, tries to get the puck, but can't get it. Minnesota collects it, fires it all the way down the ice because they want to make some cake. The fools! This is hockey, not a baking show. Got the easy bake oven out on the bench. Learn the rules. Stop making icing on the bench. It's a waste of time. It was less crotch and more gooch area, but still, yeah. The gooch. Has anyone heard it called the taint? Gooch or taint? What do we go with? What do we call it? Ratu gets it up the boards to Heinen. Heinen can't get it out of the zone. Minnesota recollects it, and then looks like Heinen intercepted it again and gets it down into the Minnesota zone. In on the forecheck, intercepts a pass. Puts it up to the blue line. Hoglander in. Hoglander with a good shot. Nice, good way to do something good in the game. Collects the puck, manages to keep control, gets a good shot off. Whoo! Hoglander doing a couple good things. Dave DeVilliers, how good will Demko be on return, you think? It may take him a while, you know? But you remember when he came back in the Nashville series, it didn't seem like he missed a beat. He played really well in that game. So, and I can confirm the Minnesota Wild have turned things around on the face-off. I can even just pull it up here. Remember when I was talking with Dustin in the first intermission, we were talking about how the Canucks were dominating the face-off circle with 67% or something like that. Well, Minnesota has taken things over here. They now have 51.9% of the face-offs, and the Canucks have only won 48%. So, yeah, not good face-offs for the Canucks in the second period here. Hopefully they can turn that back around, back to the bar. Have you guys ever heard of Crash Test Dummies' cover of Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby? The Crash Test Dummies covered Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby? That'd be hilarious. No, it's not going to be okay. Don't lie to him. Get him, cuzzy. Sure, we got smoked. Yep. That was an elbow. Yep. Too contemporary for me, Major Tao. Yeah, Major Tao is our music man. KJ Bradley, the old forehand shiver. Yeah, right to the side of Sherwood's head. Sherwood's karma for all his hits? Nah. PP murder, yeah. Canucks getting outshot by double. Classic Canucks. Yep. That's what we do. At least they're consistent. Rule books. Look at all these rule books we're given to Minnesota, and they still can't figure it out. Both are applicable. Big Hog with the handles. Yeah, that was good. He did well to collect that puck and actually get a good shot off. Gooch shotted. Calling it Gooch, eh? Rusty and Dobby are the Canucks icing coaches. Yep. We're out there every game making sure the boys know the rules. Paper, Big Hog. We need to trade you for Zaddy. I don't think they need Zaddy back. Zadorov makes $5 million a year and he's playing on the third pair. Gary says he's heard of both Taint and Gooch. And Big Hog's like, no, please, I love it here. Fourth line out. Hoglander driving to the net, can't get a shot off. Oh, a swing and a miss there. A little bit of a whiff slap shot from Quinn Hughes. Sherwood's back covering for him, though, so the Canucks have three guys back. Looks like Sherwood just got some vengeance throwing a big hit on the half boards. His man took a second to get back up. Sherwood in, forward checking. Hoglander comes down to collect the puck in the corner, puts it back up to the point for Hughes. Hughes making moves. Shot wide, just wide though. Myers puts it down behind the net. Sherwood collects it. Sherwood puts it down behind for Bluger. Bluger taken down. Bluger on the half boards, skating up to the blue line. We got 4 Canucks on the blue line. Some kind of new move, I guess. The puck goes off a Minnesota player and out to center ice. Hughes collects it and skates it back into the zone. Besser goes to the front of the net. Shot pass, can't get through. Minute 11 left to go in the second period. Canucks turn it over again at center ice. Besser puts it back to Hughes at the point. Puts it down low behind the net for Besser. Besser out to Petey. Petey in front, but DeBrusk can't get his stick free to get a shot off. Back, puck right back to Besser behind the net. Besser up to Soucy on the point. Shot. Gustafson makes a save there. Soucy again at the blue line. Puts it down to the half boards for Besser. To the front of the net. Blocked in front. Pettersson collects the puck. And then DeBrusk collects the puck. The Canucks score in the last minute of the period. After the Minnesota Wild absolutely carried the play for the entire period, the Canucks take the lead late in the second period. 2-1 Canucks. You love to see it. Woo! Oh my gosh. There is Hachiko using the goal emoji properly for once. Goal, 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 goal. Orca, goal. Orca, goal. Woo! Big Mac, boom, goal emoji. Paper using that goal emoji, getting the orcas in the chat. You love to see it, KJ using the orca in the chat. Bang from Big Hug. DeBrusk is amazing, says Major Tau. KJ says, woo! Just a good hard work shift. The Canucks turned the puck over a couple times at center ice, kept on bringing it back down. Oh my goodness. Now the referee's over at the bench chatting with the Minnesota coach for some reason. DeBrusk is on a tear. Drewski, you're absolutely right. KJ, DeBrusk is him. Big Mac saying DeBrusk is fire. Jakey Jake. Big Hog Hockey using the goal emoji. So then maybe they're complaining about, so Pettersson's in front battling and then gets the puck down low off the rebound, and then DeBrusk just scoops up that rebound and jams in the net. He's got 32 seconds left to go in the period. Canucks lead 2-1. And there it is, Mr. Santa Claus showing up again, gifting a membership. TD, the silent man in the chat, getting the free membership from Major Tau. Thank you, Major Tau. I appreciate you. Soucy gets hit. Puck goes to the front, but looks like Garland did well to clear it out. 2-1-0, and that's the end of the period. You love to see it. The Canucks taking a late lead there. That's crazy. Update the old scoreboard here. Don't want to pull a Sportsnet. You love to see it. Okay, boys. As I mentioned, we're going to get a new second period guest on today. Get him on the line here. Oh, that's crazy. After the Minnesota Wild carry the play for the entire period, it's wild to see the Canucks actually get the. It's wild to see the Canucks take the lead that late in the period. Under a minute left to go. After, what was it? The Canucks only ended up with 7 shots. They actually, in that last sequence, ended up getting a bunch of shots there, which you love to see. All right. So, as I mentioned in our pregame, we're going to have a new guest on today for the first time. He joined YouTube on February 3rd, 2018, and this guest dove headfirst in the world of hockey content creation. Just over 20 months later, he went live for the first time on October 8th, 2019 to do a live reaction of the San Jose Sharks versus the Nashville Predators. He's gone live 168 times since. In his time on YouTube, he's posted nearly 700 videos, accumulated 17,000 subscribers, and recorded over 2.2 million views. We are very excited to be joined by Nick Pinkerton of Twisted Wrister Hockey. Welcome to the show, sir. Nick, it doesn't seem like we can hear you right now. Let's see if I've got you muted here. Yeah, it looks like you have yourself muted, but I can't unmute you. So it should be up on the video screen right there. And if you put have your mouse over the screen, there should be the little microphone. Turn microphone on or off. No, still not working. This is what live streaming is all about, folks. How about this? I'll restart the call and we'll see if we can get it to work that way. Eh? Yeah. So I'm just going to give him another quick call back. Get the technical issues all worked out here on the fly for you. Well, while Nick is working on that, I'm going to quickly show you guys something. So you guys have seen me use this blue cup before here. And I've got some stuff here in my blue cup. I'm going to show you what we have here. So as I mentioned, this is the first time that we're having a content creator on from a different hockey team. First off, there it is.
Test.
There it is.
Yeah, good.
Awesome. Welcome, Nick.
Hey man, this is literally my first Discord call ever. I can't keep up with this tech these days. I'm getting too old. I mean, you just don't see it. I wore the hat so covers up the grays.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting a little bit of that too. Yeah. It's coming in. So yeah, welcome to the show, brother. It's nice to have you.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm happy to join you guys.
So I wanted to show the listeners a couple things. So first thing here, I've got some salt here, and then I've also got a little bit of lemon juice here. And then I've also got a little bit of pickle juice here because, like I said, we've had content creators on from the Canucks, but we've never had someone on from a different team. So I want to let you guys know what's going to happen. So over the course of this interview, I'm going to be building a drink. So the pickle juice works as the base. And when I ever ask him a question about someone on his team that I don't like, I'm going to add in the lemon juice. And then when I ask him a question about something that the Canucks may have done to hurt his team, I'm going to add the salt in. And then at the end of the interview, I'm going to go ahead and drink this concoction. And you guys will know, check out the channel, Twisted Wrister Hockey on YouTube. This is one of his first videos that you can check out on there. So Nick, let's jump right into it.
Yeah.
What is your favorite team?
I'm a San Jose Sharks fan. I grew up about an hour south of there.
So what are you're pretty close to the Sharks area?
Not anymore. I used to be able to actually walk to the Shark Tank back in the day, but I live in Idaho now.
Oh, okay, so you've kind of gone the other way.
Yeah, really, there's nobody immediately around me. The closest team is Seattle. It's about a 5-hour drive. And then, of course, Vancouver, you tack on a little bit more time. Calgary, you tack on a little bit more time as well.
But still sitting in that PST, I guess.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So who on your team, who would you say overall, all time, who's your favorite San Jose Shark?
Oh, okay, maybe this is where we start building the drink. I always call it a 1A, 1B. I think the first player that I just was starstruck by was actually our franchise goalie, and that's Yevgeny Nabokov. I'd say he's kind of the first, and then a few years later, in comes Joe Thornton.
So I'll ask you with the first question here. I'm going to add the salt in. Or no, it's the lemon juice. The lemon juice. We'll add the lemon juice. Why does Joe Thornton hate the Sedin so much?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because everyone remembers Brad Marchand punching Daniel Sedin in the face repeatedly over and over in 2011. But there has been incidents over the years between Joe Thornton and the Sedins, and for some reason, it seems like he didn't like them. Do you have any insight from an insider's view?
I don't. The only thing I remember is just when they're talking to the ref at the same time. I forget if it's Henrik or Daniel.
Yeah, I think there was one where I think he was just kind of like shoving at Daniel Sedin's face a little bit. But as a Canucks fan, we didn't like that. But as a Canadian, I can get behind Joe Thornton because he did have some big games for Team Canada. So if you had to pick a favorite San Jose Sharks moment of all time, what really hooked you as a fan for the San Jose Sharks?
Oh, well, early in my fandom, I think that one amazing moment that I got to see in person was what some fans would call the 5-on-1 penalty kill. This was when the Oilers went on that incredible run where they came up, they were within a Game 7 of winning one with kind of, I don't want to say a no-name cast, but certainly not the same star talent that you've seen from their other cup contending teams. But in game 2, they're in San Jose, and the Sharks are killing a 5-on-3 for about a minute 40, I want to say. And essentially, 2 Sharks players either break their stick or lose their stick. And so at one point, for a possession, there's literally just one PK guy out there for the Sharks with a stick, and the crowd is just absolutely going nuts. So it's those moments in the playoffs that I think really did hook me to make me a lifer. And then I'd say that years later, I mean, I got to be there during the Game 7 against Vegas back in 2019, and I mean, that is one of the coolest things I've ever experienced in my life.
And that
for
was
real.
the one
Hopefully,
where,
I can say that the Stanley Cup would be probably the only thing that can top
I mean,
that.
as a Sharks fan, you got the same pain that we do. You've never seen the cup go up in your town. But I think the one you're talking about, that was when, wasn't it like a high sticking penalty or something like that? And you guys end up with a 5-minute power play and then scored a bunch of goals to take the game, right?
Yeah, the call itself, I mean, I understand why it's controversial, but they rallied back from down 3-0 with power play. Vegas ties it up in the last minute with their net emptied, and then the Sharks finally, about 18 minutes into overtime, win the series.
Yeah, being there live for having your home team score in overtime is just unreal. So this one I'm probably gonna have to add the salt in. So what was your experience like? From someone who I have seen on your channel, you did say you were a Kevin Bieksa fan at one point, but he did score the stanchion goal to knock the Sharks out in 2011. How was that feeling from your guys' side?
Oh man, it's just, I know that obviously the better team won. It's just that I think that there were times in those games, maybe I'm thinking of a different series, but there were times when I think they might have scored first, and then the Canucks just, when they score one, then the floodgates just open. But it was just the way that it ended. I wanted to see the Sharks maybe force Game 6 and play till the bitter end, and then it doesn't seem as embarrassing. At least we got one game off you guys, because the year before that we got absolutely bum rushed in Chicago, got swept. I actually lived in Chicago during that time, and I think as the only fan of the Sharks in a city of 2.7 million people, I felt pretty alone from that. But the Bieksa goal, that was so bizarre, but oh man, I still call it kind of those 2011 Canucks. I often consider them maybe the best team in my time that I've seen not win the Stanley Cup, like among finalists.
Yeah, I think fans around here would say they're probably, you could make an argument that they're the best team to never win the Cup, because I think during the regular season that year they were number 1 on power play, number 1 on penalty kill, best goals against, best goals for. Like it all came crashing down on us. So I wanted to pick your brain too, just from an outsider's perspective, from what you've been seeing from the Canucks so far through the first kind of quarter of this season.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Anyone that you really like watching? Anything that stands out for you for the Canucks?
Honestly, this is the most tuned out I've been in watching the NHL in several years. Part of that's just because I'm not making as much content these days, just focused on some other stuff. But I was, one thing I always like to look at is, what is their record in regulation? Because I think that really does say something when you get into the playoffs. So I always think that's something that you should monitor, since 5-on-5 is what they do in overtime. But one other thing I wanted to look at was, what's their record against teams that, at least when you look at their record points percentage, like what's their record against playoff teams right now? It's 3-4-2. Mm-hmm. So the good thing is that with significant ailments for the Canucks, I think that probably when you look at the impact of their 3 of their best players who are out from injury, I think that it's been good that their schedule hasn't been all too daunting so far. So I think that's it's not really fair for us to judge what the ceiling is for the Canucks right now. I think that there's optimism once Demko, of course, returns from injury. We'll see what happens with Miller, and I know that obviously Hronek's going to be out for a long time. If they can get somebody like Dakota Joshua going, I know that he's been taking his time kind of getting back into the fold. I loved what he was doing the last couple of years over there. Then, there's no reason why this team can't, they're in a top 3 spot in the division right now, and there's no reason why they'd fall out of that. And what's nice is that, Lankinen can kind of share the net with Demko when he returns, so it's not like Demko all of a sudden will start 4 out of 5 games,
Yeah, we figure we get Demko to play at home and Lankinen to play on the road, and we should win almost every game. So let's also talk, because I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about your team, because obviously they're in a different stage in their path towards a cup than the Canucks are right now, but a lot of exciting young talent. Like, what's that like watching your team rise to power? Because some of these guys are going to be all-stars in the league for years to come.
It's kind of weird because, this team obviously was dead last in the NHL last year, and they started this year 0-7-2. And then all of a sudden, their record afterwards is now 10-6-3. And I'm kind of still processing, what the heck am I seeing out there? How is this team? I mean, I knew that there was something with Ryan Warsofsky, who was our assistant the previous 2 years under David Quinn, but him behind the bench, I think there's something there. I think that the team looks much more supportive around each other, like on the ice. I mean, some of the ways that they're able to, swarm the puck in their own end, that's great. Some of the chemistry that these forwards have developed has been great. This is by no means a perfect team, and Mackenzie Blackwood's looked excellent for them. But really, as you alluded to earlier, the young talent, Celebrini, boy, I did not think he'd be this far along already. He's got Will Smith producing, and Willie Meckland has been the big unsung hero of this team. I think that he's really matured a lot in his first few years in the NHL to where, this is not the best comparison, but I hear some people say, oh, maybe the Sharks have their next Kane and Taves. And so I say, okay, but they also kind of might have this Marian Hossa, this slightly more experienced guy, this is the most fun I've had watching this team probably several years easily.
Yeah, we get that. We've had some bad teams around here lately as well.
Somebody in the chat. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, somebody in the chat was saying, who is Cortana? Cortana is my logo for reference, but that's based on my dog.
I should actually.
And
got that
she's hanging out down here. Yeah,
it's fun. Actually, I've got my own dog, Dobby, who shows up on the stream every once in a while. He's a mini Aussie Shepherd, so full of energy as well.
Oh my gosh, I love mini Aussies.
Here, Dobby, come here. Let's show Nick Dobby. Here.
Yeah, do you do Dobby imitation?
Oh, there we go. So this is Dobby.
Oh my goodness,
he's a mini Aussie. He's very cute. Boy. He's trouble though. All right. So the question I did have for your team, because obviously still in a development stage, still building for the future. Are you worried that they might pull we're going to finish just outside of a playoff picture and maybe not get as high a draft pick? Or are you still thinking that maybe you got the picks already in and now it's just time to start building to a winning roster?
Well, upcoming draft, it's a great question. The upcoming draft, I don't think it's super favorable for us in the sense that, when you look at our prospect pool, the biggest weakness that hasn't really been addressed yet is a right-hand shot on defense. And I know that we're probably not the only team in that respect, but we do need some depth and some point production from there. I'm basically trying to say that I'd like to see the Sharks kind of find their version of Moritz Seider, somebody like that. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't seem like there's somebody, who's a top 6 pick that would play that position. So I'm not as concerned about that right now. It's more about okay, can we be creative with how we put ourselves in a spot to ultimately get a player like that? And the Sharks did this over the offseason with their goaltending, getting Yaroslav Askarov. That was, as soon as I heard that he was on the block, I was like, GM Mike Greer has what he needs to make this trade happen, and he does. And I think that it's going to really pay off for this team, and we've already seen him play 2 games. So I love what's happening in terms of the Sharks changing course, and when you already have Celebrini and Smith kind of subsequently contributing the way that they are with a first-year head coach, then it looks pretty promising for us. It's just. I'm more like, look, I like being able to cheer for them to win, and we just won in overtime against the Capitals. So we're not an easy out, or at least not right now.
Yeah, with that much talent, Macklin Celebrini obviously is a Vancouver kid, so we're always keeping a close eye on you. And that'll be one of the reasons that we can cheer for the San Jose Sharks moving forward. And speaking of the San Jose Sharks, the Canucks and the Sharks are going to be playing on December 23rd. So we're going to have you back on again for that to get kind of a back and forth about how the game is going. Yeah, so I think we're going to go for the bottoms up here for the lemon juice, the pickle juice, and the salt. Let's see what happens here. Ooh. Oh, the glass that you had was way bigger than that. I don't know how you did that. Oh, but you know what? I do like pickle juice, so. Ooh.
Wait, you did you base that off of an old video of mine?
Yeah, you did.
Oh my gosh.
It was, you ranked your 31 teams, and it was before. And then every time you said something bad about a team or something that a team did bad to you, you added lemon juice and salt into a pickle juice and then chugged it at the end of it.
That's a deep cut, man. I didn't even know I still had that video published. I've taken down actually a lot of like older videos, but kudos to you. That's doing your background check as well as anybody else could. So
awesome. Well, yeah, and I discovered you for during your 24-hour stream on Canuck Clay's stream, and then ever since then I wanted to have you on because I know you cover not only the San Jose Sharks, but check out his channel. He covers everything. He's got videos about a bunch of different stuff. I even see maybe a little bit of NFL and some NBA stuff trickling in there every once in a while. So thanks so much for joining the show, sir. And
hey, my pleasure, Russ. Looking forward to talking to you guys again soon. Okay?
Yeah, we'll see you in December, or I guess December 23rd.
Good night.
Peace out. There it is, Twisted Wrister Hockey live on Nothing Is Perfect. So yeah, guys, go check out his stuff. He's got some really fun stuff on there. Like I said, he is a Sharks fan, but he does cover a bunch of different stuff. His most recent video, puck has been dropped for the third period. 55, 54, 53, 52, 51. I'm going to have to... We'll chase that. We'll chase that one. Yeah. Twisted Wrister Hockey, everyone. Thanks so much, Nick, for joining the show. It's awesome having you. And yes, that was pickle juice, lemon juice, and salt. Salt because BX's gold made him salty. Lemon juice because I don't like Joe Thornton and his treatment of the Sedins. And pickle juice because, you know, you got to have a weird base too. So Nick Pinkerton, Twisted Wrister Hockey, thanks for stopping by, brother. Go check out his channel. Calvin already going over and subbing. You love to see it. Major Tao saying Nick is classy. Big Mac, that's Nick. That was awesome. Twisted Wrister Hockey. I think I drink I think a lot of whiskey. Yeah, you had some whiskey right after that. Rome in the chat. Welcome, Rome. Nice to see you. Love those faces, Dobby and Cortana. Yep. That's what we got in common. He's got Cortana, I got Dobby. So we're both nerds. He named him after his dog after an AI from Halo, and I named mine after Harry Potter. Because my wife loves Harry Potter. Thanks to Nick. Kisses to Cortana. Major Tower, I appreciate that, amigo. Twisted Wrister Hockey, Nick says, thank you for having me on and good luck closing this one out. Yeah, we'll probably need it. Shots are now 19-14. Minnesota leads. Puck to the front of the net. Canucks manage to poke it away. And then Minnesota scores. You hate to see it. Tying up the game early in the third period. Canucks getting spun around in their zone. It's that first line out there again. Struggling in the defensive zone. Dave, bruh. Big Hog, same I subbed. Big Mac, still haven't worked out Caribou thing. Sorry, everyone. Gary Wiseman, he has a Canucks jersey. He's all right. Yep. I think he said the Canucks were his like 18th favorite team or something like that. Yeah, Canucks are just getting turned around in their zone. That top line is having a hard time in their own end. We can accept him. Milush in the chat. Go Canucks, go. Jay, watch him from the future. 2-2. Rome says, at Twisted Wrister Hockey, thanks, bro. I knew you would. Major Tau, I already subbed. Zorro Rosario. Hello, Russell, and everyone in chat. Welcome, Zorro Rosario. You have one of the most fun names to say. I got Coda Bear. Luke, yeah. Ugh. Big Mac, my kitty and wolf are named after Star Wars couple. Zachary, let's go, Vancouver. Major Tau, let's get DeBrusk too. Ooh. Hachiko, when did we get scored on again? It just happened just about 30 seconds ago. Hoglander intercepts the puck, working on the half board to try and get it down low, but can't get it. Minnesota gets it out to the blue line, passes all the way down to the Canucks blue line. Working on Brandstrom. Desharnais stops him. But Minnesota recollect the puck in the offensive zone. Desharnais battling in the corner. Back up to the blue line. Minnesota collects. Deflected from the side. And then the Wild managed to keep it in. Canucks taking a minute. Everyone's changing. Got Brandstrom in his own zone. Pass up to center. Just over the blue line. Heinen working on the half boards now. Minnesota takes another penalty. Lankinen comes out of the net. Myers takes a shot, misses the net. Canucks control those, so now they go 6-on-5. Hughes doing circles in the top of the offensive zone. Oh, and then Tyler Myers with a slap pass to the front of the net. Canucks getting a little extra power play time here. Quinn Hughes one-timer block. Heinen to the front of the net. Minnesota still can't control, so the Canucks recover the puck. Quinn Hughes at the blue line again. Shot to front. Tries to get a slap pass to go. Quinn Hughes again at the top of the slot. Over to Myers. Myers puts it back over to Hughes on the other side. Delayed penalty. Shot. And then gets deflected down. Pettersson can't get a hold of it. So now the Canucks go to another power play. Let's get that big PP energy out here. Yeah, just holding. Holding the stick. Could call it either one. And Lankinen did well to make a save on the design play, that kind of Sidney Crosby-esque one where he's on the half boards, they shoot it wide, and then it gets deflected to the front. But Lankinen makes the save anyways. Lankinen. See if Pettersson can win this faceoff. He does. Hughes on the half boards. Puts it back up to Besser on the blue line, over to Hughes, who skates up to the blue line, then cuts down into the faceoff dot. Hughes puts it up to Garland at the blue line, who skates down the boards. Garland back to Hughes at the point. Hughes puts it down to Pettersson. Pettersson to Besser. DeBrusk on a rebound. Almost getting it to go, but Gustafsson makes a good save to keep it a 2-2 tie. Ooh. Big Hog looking for the big PP. Major Chow has who's, let's do it. Calvin's like smiling Trevor Linden in the chat. Trevor, what do you think? We score on this power play? I don't know what he said, but he's smiling anyways. Big Mac making the wave. Big Hog making the wave. Big Mac says, sup, Zorro Rosario. Shot to the front. DeBrusk with another rebound chance. Nearly had another goal there on the power play. DeBrusk all over the front of the net for those rebounds. Gustafsson's making the first save, but then it's dropping down to his feet. Minute to go in the power play. 15 minutes left to go in the period. Canucks with a sloppy zone entry, but Garland works hard and tries to get to the puck. But the Minnesota Wild managed to clear it down the ice. You might see the Canucks change here, but we'll see. Nah, they're not going to change. First power play unit stays out. Oh no, they're changing. Joshua moves in. Myers tries to collect the puck, but gets stolen immediately, and then Minnesota clears it down the ice. Puck in the corner, so Lankinen can't get it. Hughes collects the puck, staying out there for the second power play unit. Joshua, Suter, Hughes on the point, shot, Gustafson with a save. Sure with a big hit. And Minnesota collects the puck and shoots it all the way down the ice. Lankinen collects it behind the net. Leaves the puck for Tyler Myers. Randstrom skates out to center. Turns. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Power play is over for the Canucks. Couple good chances, but they didn't score. Ah, shucks, no goal. Yeah. Bluger blocks a clearing attempt, but Minnesota recollects it and moves it out. Still kept in. Good forecheck. Hoglander in there on the forecheck. Heinen tries to get it, can't get it. Juleson collects the puck at his own blue line. Over to Susie. Susie puts it back to Juleson. Minnesota plays it off the glass and out to center. Faber skates onto the puck in center, carries it down low. Zadinov. Lankinen with a save, diving across to make it. Heinen working, and then Minnesota tries to pass the puck to the blue line, actually puts the puck out of the zone, so clearing it out for the Canucks. Kaprizov almost gives the puck away to Ratu. Lankinen stops the puck behind the net. Susie tries to get it over to Myers, but doesn't go. Always makes me nervous when they're out together for some reason. Together, they are scary. Garland in, shoots low. Gustafson with the save. Max Sasson does well to recollect the puck. Garland in on the forecheck as well. Strips him of the puck, but the puck goes right back to him. Now Garland gets it over to Petey. Petey puts it up to the blue line. Carson Susie puts it down low. Pettersson goes into the corner behind the net. Puts it up, and there's no one there on the point. So the puck goes all the way down the ice. Lankinen collects the puck and leaves it for Desharnais. Ooh. What's in the koozie, Russ? It's something magical. It's a Moscow Mule, a pre-mixed Moscow Mule. It's tasty. Besser with a shot high, rebound out. Lots of rebounds coming off of Gustafson. Now the Minnesota Wild come out 3-on-2, but Dick DeBrusk does well to get back. Now all the Canucks are back. Shot wide by Minnesota. Desharnais battling behind the net. Can't get the puck off Hartman, who stops on the half boards, puts the puck through the slot. No one there to deflect it for Minnesota. Besser does well to get the puck and dump it deep into the Minnesota zone, allowing the Canucks to get a Canucks 2, Wild 2. Hand pass. Offside. Something. Whistle gets blown. Streaming under the influence. The only reason I'm having this one right now is because I just drank lemon juice, pickle juice, and salt, courtesy of an old video from Nick Pinkerton on Twisted Wrister Hockey. Yeah, if you want to see that video that he did on the juices, again, the ingredients are pickle juice, lemon juice, and just salt. So that's what we were drinking. Had to wash it down with something tasty. Plus, I got the day off tomorrow, guys. Wednesday's my day off. It's my studio day. It's the day where I get to create content for you. Shall I tease it again? I keep on teasing it. It's going to be one of those things, right? I keep on teasing the Trevor Linden documentary series, but at least I've gotten started on episode 1. There's just too much things going on. The Canucks are playing so much, it's hard to get studio time to actually work on a feature video. Whew. If DeBrusk can keep up this form, it won't be long before he's a fan favorite. Yeah. Yeah, what is that now? That's like 10 goals in his last like 10 games or something like that now. It's wild. Yeah, and KJ agrees. He'll be a fan favorite sooner or later. Do you think DeBrusk's stalker followed him? Is that real? Laugh out loud. Did DeBrusk have a stalker? That's scary. Big hog, coconuts glow. Coconuts glow. Coconuts glow. I think DeBrusk is now already a fan favorite. Yep. Yeah, Hoglander getting walked again. Hoglander's got to do better because that chance happened because he got walked. Gary Wiseman got your daily dose of vitamin C and sodium. Yep. I think she did. No PP goal. Sun just came up here. Coffee for me. Yeah. Dave. Watching the sun come up. Watching the Canucks play Minnesota. Paper putting the smiling Trevor Linden in the chat. Zoro Rosario saying PD is playing as strong this game. Yes and no. Because that top line has been struggling a little bit in the defensive zone. He's been looking good in the offensive zone, but defensively, they've been looking like they've been struggling to keep Minnesota to the outside. Garland keeps the puck in, pokes it to himself. Shot, blocked. Juleson puts it down to DeBrusk, over to Garland. Oh, it's Suter. I always get Suter. No, it is DeBrusk. Must be mid-change or something. Yeah, there it is. Pettersson and Besser have now joined DeBrusk on the ice. As the Canucks break the rules, do they think that they can just get away with it? Do you think that the ref's not going to notice that they broke the rules? It's very simple. If you put the puck all the way down past the goal line, over from behind your own center line, it's icing, man. It's icing. You guys might have heard that. My wife's even saying, learn the rules now. She knows the rules. Susie does well to stop the Minnesota Wild in his zone. Hoglander can't collect the puck. Minnesota dumps it down. Lankinen collects it behind the net, gives it to Susie, who passes it up over to Hoglander. Hoglander dumps it in deep and goes in on the forecheck. Throws a hit. Unless you had a criminal record, you can't even enter Canada with a DUI. Lyndon Doc? Question mark. Yeah, for all you OGs, you'll remember very early on in some of the streams, I played an old documentary that I've made of Trevor Linden. And that was when I actually got to go down to Rogers Arena and interview. And I was supposed to interview Trevor Linden. And it was his last season. And so I was doing a documentary series about Trevor Linden. And I show up for Canucks practice and I'm about to interview Trevor Linden. And they're like, oh, sorry, we can't have you interview Trevor Linden. Ian McIntyre is interviewing him. And I'm like, Ian McIntyre? I got scooped by Ian McIntyre. So we've got beef and he doesn't know it because he doesn't know who I am. But one day we'll have Ian McIntyre on Nothing is Perfect and I will give him the business for stealing my interview with Trevor Linden. Okay, that's the whole question. Who comes on Nothing first? Linden or McIntyre? What do we think? Do I get Trevor Linden first or do I get Ian McIntyre first? Okay. Dobby, come here. Come here. Up, 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 up. So my wife was just eating some apples, I think, with some peanut butter. Dobby, come on up. Come here. So Dobby, you want some peanut butter? Live on stream. Dobby gets his peanut butter. Look at that face, huh? I even turned it towards the camera so you can see his crazy eyes. See that? I've got a loving wife who supports me and is creating content so you guys get more Dobby time. Oh, yes, Dobby. Oh, that peanut butter is good. He loves the peanut butter. Oh, it's like getting a pup cup from Starbucks. Only this time it's a peanut butter cup. But not the peanut butter cup because that has chocolate and that's bad for dogs. This is just peanut butter in a cup. Yeah, is that tasty, Bubby? Yes. Thank you, my wife, my lovely wife. That's Dobby, everyone, getting one of his favorite treats there. You gotta watch Dobby get some peanut butter there. So that's a real thing with him, KJ. He already is. Yes, it was real. It got pretty serious. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. B, I'll leave for 2 minutes. Don't leave, B. We need you. The neighbor's cat all stalk me in by my back door. I just let them in. You feed them, don't you? Is it really stalking if you're feeding them? The Saints, evening, brah. Welcome to the Saints. Nice to have you, brother. And you know who's also happy to see you, the Saints? It's Lloyd. It's Lloyd. The Saints, run. He's coming to make you a drink, but it's probably poisoned. B, guessing I'm going to go study my drugs. Don't do it, B. Pass her out front to the crease. Susie collects it on the blue line. Walking the blue line. Shot. Glove save. Puck comes right in front. Canucks collect it again. Pettersson over to DeBrusk. Susie with another shot. And then Gustafsson gets another rebound. But this time, he collects the puck. 7:49 left to go. The Canucks have just taken the lead in the shot category. Big Hogs happy to see Saints. KJ, I never had a crazy ex. I'm still cordial with all of them. Laugh out loud. That's good. That's healthy. Big Hog got some rule book. Ian Clark L. The Saints, yeah, I know. I've been looking for Fuji. You let me know if you find Fuji, all right? Oh, Ian McIntyre. That's what you're trying to say. Free Fuji. 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 I know Cole McIntyre. Who's Cole McIntyre? Laugh out loud. iMac is more likely, I think. So there was one time I was at a Canucks game when I was very young. Canucks collect the puck. Garland. Canucks controlling again in the offensive zone. Garland tries to get it to the front of the net. Can't get it to go there. Minnesota skates it out to center. Referee's getting in the way. Suter drops the puck for Garland. Good play. It's like a Hoglander-like play that actually worked. Tries to get it to the front of the net. Johansson can't get it past Myers at the blue line. Puts it down. Another drop pass. Luger with a shot. Saved by Gustafsson. Quinn Hughes collecting the puck in the corner. Skates back up the half boards. Dumbs one in for Garland. Garland collects the pass. Puts it back up to Hughes. Hughes over to Myers. Myers with a wrist shot through a screen, but Gustafsson makes a save. Whoo! Yeah, iMac is more likely. Confront iMac first. Yep. Look at that face. Dobby. Dobby. If anyone is down, I think I'm going to do a Mass Effect collection stream later. Anyone want to join? B likes to see Dobby. KJ likes to see Dobby. We need Dobby power, says Dave. Big Mac, Dobby, peanut butter cups. Dobby must wonder why he's already on. Why he's always on camera. Dobby loves to be center of attention. Chico's happy to see Dobby. Zach's like, yeah. Dobbertons, Shrek, Dobby. Did you show up just in time to see Dobby Shrek? Dobby got a Reese's without me, without the chocolate. Yep. He got a dog-friendly peanut butter cup. He's a spoiled little rotten guy. But we still love him anyways. Wild come out. Canucks disrupt the play. Minnesota doesn't end up getting a shot. Sherwood gets it out to center. And then Hogliner pokes it down low. There you go, Hogliner. You got it down low. Yeah. Dissaints Dobby Claus. Yeah. For anyone who's a member of the channel, I did post some pictures of Dobby in a Santa hat today. Me and Dobby hanging out. There's even a big one of him with a big old puppy on going on. Big Mac's happy to see the Saints. I don't think that's a real bar. Liar! It is a real bar. I've got 2 people back there working it. And Trevor Linden never makes me a drink, and I don't want to drink from Lloyd because it'll probably be poison. The Saints happy to see Bramack. Drew, Canucks are sticking with them shots for your shot. You'll love to see it against this team. Yep. They've been playing really well in this third period. Sasson gets hit from behind, no call. Working from his feet, or from his knees to try and get the puck. Desharnais was looking to pinch on it, but he didn't, which is good. Leah in the chat. Welcome, Leah. Nice to see ya. Using those Dobby emojis there. Kirk McLean is a good interview if he can be found. He keeps a low profile. I know he's on Cameo too. DeBrusk puts it down low. Canucks can't get in on the forecheck. Kaprizov skates into the zone, puts it to the front of the net. Another chip, and Lankinen does well to collect that one. Woo! Hashtag you love to see it. Me at paper, no girlies tonight. Nope, Leah's in the chat. There's a girl, a woman. No, it's me, Big Mac. Captain Kirk. Yep. Captain Kirk. Captain's Law. Stardate 4528.4. We've just encountered a building full of people that are equally split right down the middle, white and black on one side. And then there's other people that are black and white on the other side, and they hate each other. Captain's Log, Stardate 4528.5. Wrong, Captain Kirk. Oh, Krista Dawn in the chat. There's another woman. Excuse me? Matt says, greetings. Matt watching from the future, I'm sure. Welcome, Matt. Always good to have you. Zach says, hi to Matt. Dave's like, Lankus, you beauty. And Matt's like, not a sausage party. Maybe an eggplant party? Starting the wave, KJ, starting the wave. All good things to Saints. Whew. So 2-2, Vancouver, Minnesota. Canucks have taken the lead with shots, which is good to see. You don't really see all that often these days. They got 13 shots in this period. The Canucks are out shooting Minnesota so far this period 13-7. So you love to see that. Goody, Matt. Andromeda, hi-oh. Welcome, Andromeda. How's your galaxy doing over there? Are you excited for the collision between the Milky Way and yourself coming up in about a couple billion years? Andromeda in the chat, welcome. Big Mac, were we talking about who was getting nothing is perfect papers? Christodon, eat my sausage. Major Tau, starting the wave, the hockey wave. Big Mac, me with no girlies. Christodon in the chat. My sister who has the same face as me. You are very excited. Yes. It's going to be fun. That collision there. Juleson gets hit behind the net, but makes the play. Oh, what a beautiful reception by Suter. He took it off the skate, put it up to his own stick. It's a cheeky play. A Sidney Crosby-esque play. Shout out to Paper. Shout out to Paper. KJ, love the gnarly wears, ear guards and neck guards. Gustafsson with another stop. Canucks drive into the net once more. Love that goalie wears ear guards and neck guards. Something setting a good example for the kids. Yeah, heck yes. When I played ice hockey, I wore the entire bubble by the end of it. Oh yeah, I didn't mention. Okay, so I only met Trevor Linden once in my life, and it was when I was very young, and it was before a Canucks game. I got there early. I went down to the Canucks entrance, and I was looking down the hallway, and I could see Trevor Linden down there, and I was like, "Hey, Linden, Trevor Linden, hi!" And he was like, "Hi," and I was like, "I hope you come back from injury soon." And he's like, "Oh yeah, thanks, man." He was injured at the time, so he wasn't playing that night, but he still stopped to say hello to some random child who was waving down the hallway at him. So Trevor Linden is an absolute gem. Zach putting the dolphin in the chat. And Drew likes the Andromeda's excitement for the collision of our two galaxies. Dave DeVilliers smashed some X boys. Yeah. Same face as Russ. She must be beautiful. And then Krista says, I am. Sherlander. Combining two names there. Minnesota gets it out to center. Dumps it behind the net. Desharnais gets hit without the puck. No call. Refs have put their whistles away for the day. Sherwood with another hit. Desharnais flips it to the blue line. Can't get it to go out. And then the puck goes off the glass and then it comes out to center. Sherwood collects it. Shoots it in on Gustafsson, who kicks it to the sideboards. Sherwood turning, going back to the bench for a change. Me and my sister, Krista, actually worked at the same restaurant for a while. And for Halloween, she dressed up as me, put a fake beard on, and you couldn't even tell the difference. It was ridiculous. But I will say, I can't tell you the amount of times that my sister stole a girl from me at a party. Yeah, happened on a regular basis. Garland is actually a mini stick player. Joshua getting the puck down low. Canucks are changing. Did you see that video from 7 months ago about Kirk McLean and Trump talking highly about him? WTF? No, I didn't see that one. Sure, we're just trying to go to the bench. Two Minnesota players grabbing him. KJ, easy to do as he speaks at the same level. Yep. Shout out to Zachary. Paper me having now patient. Where's my ice cream? Drew Richards, 39 in the chat. Love to have you all here with us tonight. Please consider throwing our Captain Rusky some love with some subs and likes. And we now have memberships available. Coconuts Glow. Yeah, I think Drewski, I'll work on the glowing coconuts tomorrow because we'll have some time. I'll put a star beside it in the captain's log. There's the scribble in my captain's log. Glowing coconuts there. Star there. And then the wave emoji with the orca surfing. And then too evil. So those are kind of the new emojis that we're working on right now. 2:12 left to go in the third period. Pettersson took a tumble on the faceoff, but DeBrusk skates it to center, but tries to dump it in and deflects off a Minnesota player. Pettersson tumbled again. Puck gets blocked. Susie, after the puck, gets it up. Susie joins the rush. Stops on the blue line. Besser takes a hit. Gets the puck back. Pass to the front of the net. Myers collects it. Got Myers and Susie out there. 1:29 left to go in the third period here. Eriksson X skates in. Minnesota 4 players deep. Lankinen kicks the puck all the way out on a rebound, all the way out. Garland skates in. Suter goes to the front of the net. Puck goes behind the net. Hughes is there, drops it behind the net. Back up to Hughes on the half boards, spinning. Now Hughes puts it down to the front of the net, blocked in front. Suter skates back, pinches the man off. Oh, and then fired a pass up. Krista Aw. Ha 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 ha, says Krista. I'm a ladies' lady. What can I say? Yeah. It's on Czech media. Paper says Coke Canucks glow. Coke Canucks glow. Drew putting the heart in the chat. Love all these emotes. Leah Herring, I'm scared. My heart's going a little quicker too. Is Russ really that scary? Myers and Susie is scary. That's what's scary. They've been doing well not playing together, and I think we got to keep it that way. But then every once in a while they're on the ice together, and it. Ooh, I'm like the kid from Home Alone. Kevin McAllister left Home Alone, watching Myers and Susie. Canucks with another face-off in their own zone. 51 seconds left to go in the third period. Hughes collects the puck, gets it out to the close to the blue line, and then scooped out to center ice. Offside. They haven't tagged up. Did they tag up? I don't think they tagged up. Susie double clutches on a pass. Juleson collects it on the half boards. 27 seconds left to go. Hoglander tips it in deep. There you go. Hoglander out in the last 20 seconds of this game. So that looks like Talkett's got a little bit of faith back in him now. Then Minnesota ices the puck with 10.7 seconds left. Do we pull the goalie? Oh yeah, I guess we got this poll going. Let's quickly finish this poll. Who comes on nothing first? People are saying Trevor Linden. Yeah. You know what we'll do? We'll invite McIntyre onto the show, and then at last minute be like, sorry, I've got to interview Trevor Linden. I think that's a good way to do it. Okay. Face off in the offensive zone. Pettersson taking it. First line out. 10.7 seconds left. Pettersson warned. Can't win the face-off back. Minnesota gets it into the Canucks zone. 5 seconds left. Susie keeping the puck in the corner. And that's the end of regulation time. So we're going to see our third overtime game in a row. So the Canucks are going to be stoked. They already got a point. End of regulation. All right. That means it's prediction time, everyone. If we got Sid, Russ would explode with joy. Absolutely. Sidney Crosby is my favorite non-Canuck of all time. 100%. Sidney Crosby is the GOAT. Gamer A, another overtime. Yep, third in a row. No big D. They're on a 6-game road trip, and they've had 3 overtime games in a row. David W. in the chat. Welcome, David. Always good to have you. I sent you an email back. We'll see if we can get you on one of the episodes coming up here. Connor Garland winning it in overtime last game. Oh, in Buffalo. That was the Buffalo win. November 29th, the Canucks beat the Sabres 4-3 in overtime. And then this is the Detroit highlights you're seeing. Matt's the one who put it out there. And how about a trade for Sid the Kid? And that beauty shot from DeBrusk. The hat-trick goal for the win in overtime. Major Tao putting the Chaos Giraffe in chat. Who should we trade for Zaddy? Big Hog's like, nobody. As much as I want him back, I know who it is. Big Hog. Paper's trying to trade Big Hog. Okay, so who's going to win the opening faceoff? Who's going to score the goal in overtime? KJ Brazzi, iPad die, laugh out loud. Not quite a kid anymore, yep. I'll happily take the point, yep. Big 1 point, Drewski's right. Not angry if you lose, Jacob Cozy. Great showing. Nerves, yep. Major Tao saying DeBrusk in overtime. Hachiko's going to score the goal in overtime. Petey scores from Big Hog. Petey or Krill says Big Hog. Hughes, Garland, Petey. DeBrusk game winner. I think Shilovs will score. Besser gets the OT winners from Rome. David W with the stats. Canucks control to start overtime. Hughes goes back up to the blue line, his favorite spot. Down to Pettersson. Pettersson gets checked. Oh, get back, boys. Breakaway for Minnesota in overtime. Then Lankinen makes the save. And then the Minnesota player loses his stick. Canucks have a chance to come out 3-on-2. Quinn Hughes drops the pass. Not a good drop pass. And then the Canucks lose the puck. Oh my gosh. Oh, Christodon, I hate overtime. Zorro Rosario thinks it's going to be Petey. Garland gets tripped. No call. DeBrusk going to the net. 3-on-2 for the Canucks. DeBrusk off the side of the net. Hughes collects the puck on the half boards. The Canucks should be on the power play, but the refs, like I said, have put their whistles away. Suter with a shot. Gustafsson with a save. Puck goes all the way down the ice. Susie collects it in the Canucks zone. Oh my goodness. We got Susie, Garland, and Suter out on the ice right now. Oh! Yeah, that was a blatant trip, Milosh. Garland at the blue line. Scissor move. Suter skates it out center there. Looks like the Canucks will probably get a change of their two players. The Minnesota faithful are booing the Canucks' control of the puck. Suter leaves the puck and goes for a change. Got Brock Besser out. Drops the puck for Brandstrom. Brandstrom skates it over the blue line. Gives it to Brock Besser. Besser puts it to the front of the net. Brandstrom with a good chance. Now the Canucks will have to skate back hard because Minnesota's got a 2-on-1 now. Good block! Sherwood now collects the puck and takes it out of the Canucks zone, but he loses the puck at center. Okay, Brock, don't get too much out of position. This is 3-on-3. Canucks are all back. Oh my gosh. Oh. 2:27 left to go in the overtime. Oh, I didn't update it. There we go. Minnesota skating the puck in. Johansson drops the puck. Minnesota keeping it to the perimeter. Puts the puck all the way back down to Gustafsson. Oh, Spurgeon with a pass across just out of the reach of the other Minnesota player. 2 minutes left to go in the overtime period. Minnesota controlling, carrying it down the ice. Now he's bringing the puck all the way back to center ice. Papers out here breathing. Minnesota carries it in again, drops it. Kaprizov in the high slot. Brusk watching him, rotating. Now he brings the puck out to center ice. 1:23 left to go in the overtime period. Let's all breathe with paper. Minnesota changing one player. Turns on the half boards into the slot. Drops it with a scissor move. Spurgeon gets a shot. Lankinen with a save. Just under a minute left to go. The Canucks have possession. Garland carries it out. Passes up to Hughes. Hughes turns it center ice. Hughes gives it to Garland. Garland in. Oh, he goes to the front of the net and tries to scoop it in. Gustafsson makes the save. Gives it back to his player. Minnesota carries it out. Canucks intercept the puck. They got a 2-on-0 in overtime. Besser hits the post. Now it's a 2-on-1 coming back the other way. Minnesota. Besser on the back check. And the Kaprizov scores. Oh, you hate to see it end like that. What an overtime. What an overtime. Oh, brutal. Minnesota barely squeaks past the Canucks. Better than a 10-7, yes. Bastard hits the post. But the puck goes off the post, off the boards. And then Kaprizov makes a good shot. Kaprizov with a perfectly placed shot, top corner. Woo. Zach says no. Drew says no. Bester says hits the post early. Yeah. Gad looks. Gad Zooks. Gah. Good game regardless. What an OT. Yeah. Jacob's not mad. Lankinen's road streak died. But he still hasn't lost in regulation. He's 10-0-1 on the road. We take the point. Besser, so close. Matt, we got a point. Not even mad. Great game. Dave DeVilliers. Jacob Cozy just pass it to Suter out there. Can leave with their heads held high. Heck yes. And then Big Hog, you predicted it. And Chris Adon says, good game, everyone. Oh my gosh. Oh, what an overtime. That was wild. Absolutely wild. My goodness. Okay. Okay, we take a minute. Paper says no. Suter and OT. Not quite Suter, Michael LeBlanc. We didn't quite get it. Gary Eisman wild celebrating that he won a playoff game. I know. Yeah, they're just happy they didn't lose to a team that's missing their number one goalie and their number one center and their second best defenseman. RIP. David W. Canucks lose, but at least unlike Winnipeg Jets, 4-1 losers, St. Louis Blues get a standing points. With the Jets and the Canucks game finished, I plan to check out some post-game streams. Yeah. Mike Torrance, okay game. Chris Dunn, yay, hockey, bye. And Gustafson was really good. Yeah. Y'all got your Taylor Swift tickets? Next time. Yeah, we'll get them next time. And Jacob Cozy thought Branstrom was a goal. Yeah, there were some good chances. The Canucks absolutely had some chances to win it there. Luke Flyswatter, we got a point almost two. Gotta forget this game. Yeah. I mean, they did what they did. They outshot the team. Man, what an absolute amazing overtime. Chances back and forth. Oh, my heart's still going. My heart's still pumping, kids. Okay. Let's do it. Let's get me my man back in the chat. I'm going to get him on the line here. Let's get him start a video call. Here we go. Okay, ring-a-ling-a-ling, ding-dong. Okay. Here he is, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, Dustin Boydell, back on the show.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Is your heart going a little faster than normal?
Oh, man. Like, inches from Besser ending it, and, you know, if there's a 4-on-3 power play in overtime, when there is a blatantly obvious tripping call on Garland that does not get called because for whatever reason the rules change apparently in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, hard fought game. Like considering the depleted lineup, the very end of a road trip, probably the toughest opponent we've faced in a while.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be pretty pleased with the effort overall as a team. Pretty good to come out of there with a point against the number one team in the league right now.
Yeah. Another game where the Canucks outshoot their opponents 32-29. Coming up with a huge third period too. Like the flurry at the end, that they had 16 shots in that third period, which I can't remember a time when the Canucks even had double digits in any period, let alone 16 shots. So good to see them just getting some shots through. And did it seem like Gustafson was having a lot of trouble controlling his rebounds tonight?
He did late in the third there for sure. He was juggling the puck a bit. I don't know. It's uncharacteristic for him, that's for sure.
And the Canucks were all over that. It looked like DeBrusk had a couple good chances off those rebounds. But But I mean, and two, right? Like pretty much the worst case scenario you can look at. Brock Besser hits a post. It goes off the post around the boards, creates a 2-on going out of the OA. And the guy who's waiting for the one-timer shot is Kaprizov, who now has 16 goals on the season. But yeah, overall, we'll take the point. We'll laugh. I mean, even Lankinen still hasn't lost a game in regulation. So that kind of keeps his streak going. Was there any other players that impressed you for the Canucks tonight?
I think considering how tough it's been for him the last week or so, Höglander had a very solid game start to finish. It was good to see him driving his feet and pushing the play into the Minnesota zone. He really cleaned it up after the first period when we talked about those little things he was doing. He stopped doing that. He was dumping it in. He was forechecking hard. And he got close, got a couple good chances too, using his feet to get to the front of the net. So hopefully that's all good signs in the right direction, and maybe next game he can bury one and get the so-called monkey off his back.
I think it's a gorilla at this point. But I mean, the other thing that you really see it, like if you're looking for the level of confidence Tocchet has in Höglander in a game like that, he was on the ice for the last 20 seconds of that game. So that tells you everything you need to know about where Höglander was at the end of this game.
Well, Tocchet's always rewarded the guys who work hard, and he's always had the guys out there that he's had a feeling about, right? And if he thinks someone's going to have a good game, he makes sure they're on the ice when it matters. And that's good to see, because if somebody's confidence needs it, it's Höglander's.
Yeah,
you know, if you asked me when we started on this road trip if we were going to get 9 to 12 points, I would have told you were crazy.
Yeah, Höglander ended up with just under 14 minutes. He had 13:34 in the game, so up a couple minutes from the last couple games. But clearly, other than that one play we talked about in the first intermission where he did the drop pass between his legs right at center ice, there really wasn't anything about his game that I didn't like tonight.
Yep.
And then obviously we have to talk about Lankinen. The man was just out there making save after save, keeping the Canucks in for a lot of the times where it looked like they were having a hard time. But that's what he'll do for you, right? He'll keep you in those games and give you that chance to take it to overtime and get that point. And I mean, obviously not the same as playing against a Detroit or a Buffalo, because there is a chance that, you know, the Canucks in Minnesota could be looking to compete for tops in the conference once the Canucks get a little healthier and get everyone back. But regardless, like you said, probably the best team the Canucks have seen all year, and they made it go all the way down to the wire.
Yep, and it was a team effort, full 60 minutes. There wasn't really any letdown. It felt very even. Gustafsson made some big saves for Minnesota, just the same Lankinen did for us. So overall, a very positive end to a long road trip. Lots of stuff to build on there, and now they need to find a way to win at home.
Yeah, and then even like we talk about this pretty much every game, the Canucks face-off percentages, but after the first, they were looking really good. Things kind of got a little worse after the second period, but after that third period, right, they battled back and they ended up finishing up the game just under 57% on that face-off dot. So, and you could see it too. It felt like the Canucks had the puck for pretty much the last 10 minutes of that third period. They gave it everything they could to win it in regulation.
They did for sure. Yeah.
How impressed are you that the Canucks managed to play against a fast Minnesota team and they only ended up taking one penalty all night?
It was really good to see. They were moving their feet, and it's nice to see us as a team that usually uses hitting as our game plan, knowing when we're physically outmatched by a team. We saw it tonight. There, some of those those Minnesota D-men are big and they are fast and they close on you in a hurry. So you got to keep your head up. Sherwood got lit up a couple times in the corner there, and yeah, it speaks to discipline of the coaching and having a game plan going in before the puck even drops.
So one thing I did feel like I was seeing a little bit out there for tonight's game, it felt like the Canucks top line, Pettersson, DeBrusk, and Besser, it seemed like they were having a little bit of a difficult time in their own zone. Brock Besser ending up a -2 tonight. Pettersson ended up being a -1 tonight. And DeBrusk ended up being a -1 as well. The only other guy on the team that was a minus was Suter. So when your top line is having a hard time, in the defensive zone. Like, what do they need to do moving forward to change that trend?
I think it just wasn't the greatest night for them. And really it was just two moments where the little mistake, a team like Minnesota is going to pounce on you quick. Hughes was involved in the first one, getting stuck pinching a bit. So there, I wouldn't read into it too much. We're just doing things we needed to do. Good on us for making sure we got the point. But we need to clean up those moments. We can't be pushing the play against some of these teams. You just have to play smart, clean, boring hockey and wait for the mistakes, just like Minnesota did when they tied it up, and then when they capitalized on the post and the 2-on-1.
So even going back to the shots, the Canucks had 7 shots in the second period. Minnesota only had 4 shots. Canucks playing really well defensively. And then in the third period, Canucks had 16 shots to Minnesota's 9 shots. So that's 2 periods tonight that the Canucks turned that trend around, and actually we're getting a lot of good rubber on it. How disappointed are you that you're going to have to wait all the way till March to see this Minnesota team again?
Not very. I'm never disappointed the longer we have to wait to see Minnesota. They play that very dry trap style of hockey. Of course, they have some exciting players in Kaprizov and stuff like that. But yeah, boy, do they suffocate you, and do they hit you hard, and they don't give you a whole heck of a lot. So good on the Canucks for capitalizing on a couple of mistakes and finding a way to sneak a point out of this one. Now they can head home, lick their wounds, hopefully get Thatcher Demko into the lineup, and maybe renewed and refreshed JT Miller, and we move forward from here and get even more points towards the playoff run.
So the one thing I was going to ask you during the first intermission, but I forgot to, Quinn Hughes scores his goal in the first period. Beautiful slap shot from the point. He's now up to 6 goals on the season. Are we talking about a Quinn Hughes season that looks like 80 assists and 20 goals? Like, is he a 20-goal defenseman now?
He could be. I mean, with the way he quarterbacks the power play and has become more of the trigger man, and obviously the way he quickly gets the puck to the net 5-on-5, it's just, if it finds the net, it might find a seam, it might find a little hole, or it might pinball in, and he gets credited for it. So the more he shoots the puck on net, the more goals he's going to get. I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about Quinn Hughes getting 100 points in a season, whether it's this year, next year, or every year to come.
Yeah, and then DeBrusk too, getting his 11th of the season tonight. Now he's, I think after this, like, I mean, what did it take him, like 7 to 10 games to score his first of the season? Suddenly he's up to 11 goals. He's now on pace for 35 goals in the season. Is this just making Boston even more salty?
I hope so.
So I know there's one person in chat, I think it's Paper, who keeps on trying to trade Big Hog for Zadorov. But at this point, with that contract, $5 million a year for 5 more years, like, there's no reason the Canucks even want that contract, right?
I think had it worked out in free agency with negotiations and the term and everything, and the player was still happy to be here, that's a totally different situation. He's made a decision with his life to move on and move to a different location, and I don't think he would be a good player to come here in the headspace he would be in. So honestly, it really makes no sense to go after a player like that, whether he had a good run here or not. I just don't think it would be the same the second time around.
Pettersson ends the night with 2 assists. Garland gets an assist. DeBrusk with the goal, and then Quinn Hughes with the goal as well. And then if we're looking on the defensive side of things, Carson Soucy actually gets one of the assists there tonight. So good to see him get a point on the board. Tyler Myers also a -2 tonight, which is kind of surprising to see with how well he's been playing lately. Did you like Tyler Myers' game tonight? Because it was still one of those things. Every once in a while, you'd see Soucy and Myers out there, and I'd have a little bit of PTSD. But I feel like even in those situations, it seems like they've both just kind of simplified what they're doing and have just been playing solid defense for the last couple of games.
Yeah, for sure. Myers just dumps it off and looks for Hughes which you saw when he got stuck out there with Susie a couple times. He dumped it into the corner and realized it was Susie and went, uh-oh, and then had to go back and get it. But there, for sure, Myers has looked good with Hughes. Like I said, on the one goal there, Myers was the only one trapped back, and Hughes was stuck pinching a bit. So I wouldn't put too much on Myers being a -2. That was kind of a joint effort of that line as a whole. But I've actually not minded the shakeup of the defense with Hronik being out. It's like I said last game, it's caused them to communicate more. They have to talk and know where each other are and where each other's going to be, and they can't be comfortable out there, and that makes them smarter, makes them take an extra second to look for who's open instead of just doing the feel play or where they think somebody's going to be. Now they have to actually know, and it's shown in the last couple games with the cycle and the breakout out of our own end.
You know how I can tell a Minnesota commentator picked the 3 stars? Every single star is a Minnesota Wild, despite the fact that they clearly got outplayed through the last 2 periods of the game. Middleton takes the 1st star, Kaprizov takes the 2nd star, and Gustafsson takes the 3rd star, which is absolutely wild to me. Pun intended. But I think that's one thing. I'll take this moment to give props to all the guys who are Canucks commentators, because regardless of that homer feel that you get from a Shorty or some of the guys that we have calling our games, they are very objective when it comes to assessing the talent in the game. And clearly the Minnesota commentators are not, because there should have been at least 1 Canuck, if not 2, in that 3 stars of the game, in my opinion. Do you agree on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. No, absolutely. And that is one thing we've always been spoiled with Shorty. He is incredibly unbiased, but still has the excitement and the feelings of a Canucks fan. But when we're playing bad, he's not afraid to say it. And he is great no matter who's doing color with him. And the rest of the league, like when I watch games on center ice and stuff, and you get the US commentary and things, like it's you can tell who's signing the paychecks a lot of time.
Yeah, I always want to say Boston's really bad for their color, but I think I can't remember if the guy's still doing it, but the Tampa Bay Lightning guy, he goes absolutely insane in like game 3 of the regular season on a Tampa Bay goal. So we are very lucky. We've had Shorthouse, Houston, like it's we've had a lot of good guys in there, so we're very spoiled. And now Rusty and Dusty.
There you go.
So we got Columbus coming in on Friday. And I don't know if you saw it. They had Johnny Gaudreau's family joining the game tonight there in Calgary. A very emotional game. Is that kind of an event? Do you think that kind of thing lifts the team up, or is that going to make it a little harder for them to come in on Friday to play against the Canucks?
It's hard to say. It's such a difficult situation, that one. Obviously, there's been plenty of time. Well, not plenty of time, but time has passed since things have happened, and the team has been playing, and the regular season has kind of been going on. So these kids have kind of had a chance to process things and see how life is going to be without Johnny moving forward. That being said, it never makes it easy to have any tribute to anyone whose life was ended at such a young age in such a tragic way. So you try to always turn negative situations into a positive and use it as a situation of Johnny would have wanted us to win this one, and you just try and use that as motivation to push yourself to be the best you can and be the best professional you can be, because that's obviously what he would have wanted.
Yeah, I think me and you have both agreed at the start of the year we want to see Columbus have a solid season in memory, because such a tough situation to be in. And that team has dealt with more than their fair tragedy, losing their goaltender a year ago as well. So, but yeah, Columbus coming in on Friday to play against the Canucks, finally getting home. Do you think the Canucks jump on the plane after 3 overtime games to finish the 6-game road trip, and are they all just immediately going to fall asleep?
There might be a poker game or two on the plane, but I wouldn't be surprised if a few of those guys are catching Z's already.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll just get carted out with the equipment.
Yeah.
Awesome, Dustin. I appreciate you stopping by for the post-game show as usual. Do you have any final words for our crazy chat before you run?
Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you back at home on Friday.
Talk to you then, brother.
Cheers.
Dustin Boydell, everyone, finishing it out with the post-game show. Oh, look at that. We're up to 750 subscribers, people. That's awesome. This number just keeps on creeping up, keeps on going. You love to see it. Hashtag you love to see it. We're pushing our way up to 1,000 subscribers. That's the goal here on Nothing is Perfect. But you know what the first goal is that we all get together. We all have a fun time watching the Canucks because that's what it's all about. Getting together, watching the game, having a good time. And that's what we've been doing all year. We started in the preseason all the way back in September. We streamed every single preseason game. We've been here for every single Canucks game during the regular season. And as well, we're going to be here for every single Canucks game moving forward here on Nothing is Perfect. So make sure you guys are tuning in. Like we said, 7 o'clock Friday night, we're going to have the Columbus Blue Jackets in town to play against the Canucks. That's the game I predicted. We see Demko back, so maybe we get the Demko man back in net for that game. You never know. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on the Canucks socials and stuff like that. See if he gets activated off the IR. Let's see. I'll go. Let's go through the chat quickly before we go. Big Hog, we need to be better on odd man rushes. Yeah. I mean, the Myers one was difficult, right? Because a 3-on-1 is such a hard one to read. On a 2-on-1, you can kind of get the idea of which side to lean to. But when you have the 3-on-1, it's so hard to decide which way you want to go. And so Myers ended up just dead center of that 3-on-1 and completely blocked the view for Lankinen. And unfortunately, that meant a perfect screen. Paper says, night, everyone. KJ says, I can't wait until we get Miller, Hronek, and Demko back. Yeah, we're hoping Miller gets back soon. And then Hronek is going to be next year. So it'll probably be January or February next year. We'll get him back. Demko, I'm predicting we see him on Friday against Columbus. Rome ripped my heart right out of my chest. Yeah, that was an absolute... it's always hard to watch. But really awesome to see Calgary doing that. Bringing up Johnny Gaudreau's whole family, having them drop the puck at center ice and having a big ceremony for them. And you knew that was going to happen when Columbus came into town because obviously Johnny Gaudreau was such a big part of that Calgary organization for a long time. I'm getting all choked up here. You guys have seen me cry on stream once and I'm not doing it again. Drew Richards, night everyone. I got a jet. You all please like and subscribe. See you next time. Canucks Glow. KJ Brazzi, lightly play Demko, let him get his legs back. Yeah, and with the way that Lankinen's been playing, we're absolutely going to be able to do that. Mike LeBlanc, 3-2 loss, but was a good 1 point. Absolutely, Mike. We believe that. Zobro Rosario, need a bank loan to see Taylor Swift? Yep. And then Gary's laughing. Yeah, you got to take out a whole line of credit to get that one. Jacob Cozy, we should have gotten a PP. Yeah, absolutely. And then Jason Hager was like, sell Brocky. We're not going to sell Brocky. He's staying here. We're not leaving him in Minnesota. Jacob Cozy, I say we won that game. Yeah. I say we won that game too. I don't care what this final scoreboard says. You know what? You don't even have to look at that scoreboard. Let's just get rid of it right now. Oh, there it is. See, we don't even have a score. We won. We won the game. Oh, okay, I lied. We did not win that game. But I like the spirit. KJ Brazzi needs a Tesla Cybertruck to see Swift, apparently. Brock concussion still in effect, unfortunately. Nah. Besser almost ending makes me regret losing. Yeah. And just the worst case scenario, right? The shot off the post all the way around the boards, creating the 2-on-1. Jacob Cozy, I think Rick will be happy or upset. Jacob, yeah. I don't know how Branstrom didn't score that. Yeah. Well, and even like Garland driving to the net was a beautiful play. Big Hog, Minnesota could beat a team in regulation without... Minnesota couldn't beat a team in regulation without Miller, Hronek, and Demko. Jacob Cozy, maybe we don't need a trade. No, we don't. Because we got guys coming back. Big Hog, see ya. Matt, 9 out of 12 points on the road trip. You'll take that. If you were to tell me at the beginning of the 6-game road trip the Canucks are going to take 9 out of 12 points, I would say, hell yeah. Big Mac, I'll start up my Mass Effect stream here soon. Drop a sub and I'll see you in a bit. Mike Torrance, thanks for us and mods. Thank you very much, Mike, for stopping by. Big Mac 133 is the channel. Thank you, Mike. Great stream, Russ. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you, Big Hog. Have a great night, brother. KJ Brazzy, cool tribute to Johnny and the Flames, from the Flames and Jackets. Yeah, absolutely. Good night, Rome says to Big Hog Hockey. Zachary, Toronto Maple Leafs versus Nashville Predators tomorrow at 7:30 on Wednesday. Rod's frowning. I know. Don't be too sad, man. Don't think of it as a loss to Minnesota tonight. Think of it as 9 out of 12 points on a 6-game road trip. KJ, okay, I'm out of here. Mike Torrance, solid game overall. KJ says, salutations all. Rod says, we need Millsy. Yeah, we need Millsy back. KJ putting the smiling Trevor Linden in the chat. Is Trevor Linden still hanging out back there? Hey, Trevor, you still hanging out? Yeah, Trevor Linden's always there. Trevor Linden's always there when you need him. Rome says, at KJ Brazzy, good night. Rod's putting the Dobby in chat. Mike Torrance, maybe we need to be scored on first. Yep, you're right. If we would have been scored on first, we would have won that game. Calvin, I agree with Dustin. Yep. Calvin, Charlie, C now, move Hronik to the second line and let him play with someone else. The D will improve drastically. Yeah, you could see that. I like Myers with Hughes right now. Calvin, like if I was a coach or a GMN, I get paid you millions of dollars and you can only play with one person or is only good with one person, I'd trade you so fast. Katie, putting out the praise. Katie is the better half for Dustin stopping by to see her man come onto the show. Major putting the hockey sticks in the chaos draft in chat. Rome says, doesn't Dave Randorf do play-by-play for Tampa? Is that who it is? Yeah, I'm old, so it was probably going way back because there was one guy who was absolutely nuts. I'll try and find a clip sometime. When the Canucks are playing Tampa Bay, I'll try and find the old clip of the guy just absolutely losing his mind. But I think the Canucks play Tampa Bay on Sunday, right? Okay, I'll put it in the captain's log. Tampa Bay goal call. My messy writing. There it is in the captain's log. Tampa Bay goal call there in the captain's log. So I'll try and find that to play for the game on Sunday. Again, the game on Sunday is a 1 p.m. game. Congratulations, Russ, for what? Calvin's pointing out the 750. Oh, cool. That's great. Congratulations. What did I congratulate? Congratulations. Good night. Looking back. I'm looking back, Rom, to see what I congratulated you on. I don't see it. Must be gone already. Inching towards 1K. Oh, we got this. Calvin 999 Charlie, but thank you, Russ, for the stream and stream a watch party. I wouldn't have no one else to watch and listen to. Sure means a lot. Yeah, brother, I love having you. My second subscriber, you love to have it, man. I appreciate you very much. You've been here from the very beginning. Rome, great segment, Dusty. Major Tau, I want to keep Blanky Demko who? Zora Rosario, thanks for the show. A-OK, thumbs up, smiles. Rome, welcome to the Blanky and Demko show. Andromeda, good night, pretending we won. Woo! Me too, Andromeda. I am also going to pretend that we won. Oh no, it went down to 749. Look at that. I talked too much and somebody was like, heck, this guy's just too chatty. Okay. We're going to call it there. Canucks lose, unfortunately, 3-2 to the Minnesota Mild in overtime. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think we'll probably take that because I think the Canucks are great and they're awesome. And I'm appreciating them for taking 9 of 12 points on this road trip. So we'll end it there. Canucks coming home. We'll be live on Friday for the 7 o'clock game against Columbus. We'll be going live at 6:40 like we always do. There it is, Calvin. I said it before you even asked. When's the next game? Yeah, 7 o'clock Friday night, December the 6th against Columbus. And we will be live as well as we have been for every game in this entire season, all the way back to the preseason. So as I say, my name is Russell Holiday. This is Nothing is Perfect, and make sure that you make good choices.